Chris will sell it for a piece of dick and a ball.
Bitch.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us again at J.E.S.Kidding podcast. It's been a while. I'm glad to be back. Today we have a special guest, our very friend David. I don't know if I should say your last name, but let's just go with David Sanchez. No, David Flores. We've known him for I don't know, like two decades.
Yeah.
But it's been actually quite a while since last time we saw you. I think I've seen you once for every child that you had. So I think I only seen you 3 times in the last 10 years. Something like that. Close to it.
Let us backtrack a little bit.
That's too many. That's too many.
I have known you since about 3rd grade. Yeah. And we just happened to go to, which is kind of rare, to go elementary school, middle school, and then high school. It's crazy.
You guys known each other that whole time?
Yeah, he had to go T in 3rd grade.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, what? Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier.
Like 3rd grade, I don't know how that happened. It was just crazy, man. I mean,
just buying beers at fucking 12.
Yeah, dude.
If you look at the yearbooks, facial hair.
I just thought it was a teacher for me.
Hey, teacher, what's for homework? What?
Yeah.
I'm in your class.
But dude, yeah, man, it's good to small world. It's good to see this guy again. I mean, it really does feel like a little East Side reunion here. I mean, went to the same high school now, and everybody in this room right now, because we're missing Salo right now, just because he hasn't gotten here yet. But all going to the same high school, and fucking here we are. You know, I actually we'll talk about this a little later and stuff. But you know, obviously Lalo, for your wedding, which happened too. We have a lot to go through.
Yep.
You know. But at my little speech at your wedding, I said the same thing. I was like, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, hey, you know, the friends that you have in high school will come and go, you know, but look at us. We're like,
is that what you said? Because I didn't understand a word at your wedding, bro. I just sat there smiling, got free drinks. I was like, this is awesome.
He was like, I didn't understand shit, but I guess it went all right, you know, because people were laughing and
so people were clapping, so I guess it was good.
I'm like, you just having just quack, 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 quack. You know, but yeah, like I said, it's like going back to that. It's like, here we are. Like, I really feel thankful that I still know you guys. You know what I mean? It's fucking cool. I mean, David fucking comes up to me at a Sharks game. Fucking, what was it? Maybe, I think it was late last year.
Yeah, it was had to be sometime in December.
I think it was October, bro.
No.
Anyways, just out of nowhere, I get a shoulder tap. I'm going back to my seat, turn around. I was like, what the fuck? I haven't seen you in like 20 years, dude. What's up? And he's like, I'm like, where are you living? He's like, right. I'm like, dude, you're my neighbor. You know, what the fuck, you know?
Fuck, I gotta move.
Exactly. Shit. Exactly, man. So, dude, it's good to see you, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely glad I ran into you.
Dude, fuck yeah. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I'd known you through these guys. It was this guy's 21st birthday?
My birthday, yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't realize you were like big into guns. I don't know when that was a thing. You've always that's always been a thing?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Been done for a while.
Since high school?
Yeah, a little bit after high school.
Because you guys used to do paintball stuff, right?
Yeah.
I never went, but yeah.
That was fun.
Well, I never went to because I wasn't invited.
Yeah,
but, you know.
so.
We'll get to that later.
So we're going to go paintballing later, right?
Actually, the whole paintballing...
Can I come?
The whole paintballing starting from Adolfo and Nieves.
Yeah.
They were the two that were going, and they got me into it, which I ended up buying 2 guns myself.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I think the very last time I went paintball shooting was with Sergio, Nieves, and Adolfo. And this is clearly like more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think I'm only gone with you guys.
Dude, time
once.
flies. Dude, you just think fucking 2009. 10 years ago? Fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's how I know you, like, more. Like, we'd go...
Shooting. You guys go shooting on the range, right?
That was good times, dude. Awesome shit.
Would you guys find, like, a private spot, or would you guys go to, like, Metcalf?
I went to Metcalf a couple times, but no, when we were shooting, we'd go out to...
What's that, BLM?
Yeah.
What's that, Bureau of Land Management? So it's just, you just go.
It's federal land. It's you know, You could do whatever you want out there.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
No, that means I can't go in there.
It feels like
Yeah.
some Breaking Bad shit. Like you're just driving in the middle of a desert,
Yeah.
and you just see another car in the middle of the desert. Like they have guns. Let's not go that way. Too.
Yeah, we're real badass. There's in the car. Get out of the way.
Oh,
Get out of
shit,
the way. No. I mean, but you guys could just let loose out there and just go bam.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a grenade. Let's use it.
No, we had steel plates.
Yeah.
There was like just range shooting, dude. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah.
I miss it. I haven't gone shooting, like I was telling Chris, I haven't gone shooting in a while, dude.
Why?
A couple years. I don't make the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
I think
kids,
I went
you know.
one time with you, right? With your shotgun.
Yeah.
Milpitas.
Yeah.
Which I remember the first time I went to the shooting range that's right next to Milpitas Police Department.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And I went with my brother and somebody else because me and my brother were we're not citizens, so we had to go with somebody that had a California ID. And this is before in California we could get IDs. So we went there, and like, well, what kind of gun do you want? And we're like, wait, I don't know. And one of the employees he says, hey, by the way, if you see some stains over there,
See red stains?
no, straight up.
Don't
like,
ask.
It's not blood. He straight up told like somebody last week came and just committed
Kool-Aid,
suicide. So
Oh, what the
you
fuck?
might see some of the stains still on the ground. So don't freak out. We're like, are you? Yeah, you kid? No, we're not kidding. I'm
Oh,
like,
shit.
Just don't freak out if you see something. It
What
happened
the
last
fuck?
week. And that was the first time I ever went to that one in Milpitas.
What was the name of that spot again?
That's
The
Target Masters.
Target
Target
Masters.
Masters.
Sponsored by Target Masters.
What
For all your suicide needs. I'm kidding.
Now you have David. You have your own, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot.
I've got a couple. Not a lot. I wouldn't call it a lot.
That's
how
all
you know-
relative.
that's a-
Okay.
That's a very
I got about
good
10
owner
AKs.
answer.
I got 10 AKs and a
Don't worry about
fucking
To
fucking
me,
grenade
10
launcher.
To me, 10 beers is not a lot. So.
Yeah.
That's David Floor. Boop. I don't know what you're just talking about. That's a very good answer.
Like, did you guys see not too long ago in the news? I think they caught some guy in LA or somewhere that dude. They showed his shit. They had to show his like arsenal and the overhead. Like he just had. I was like, where the fuck did this fool live? Or how big was his fucking house that he had just fucking you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I saw that
I
shit.
mean, that guy could be like, hey, I have a few. You know? Oh shit! How many
all
do you have? Did you need that many?
But
I
why is
mean,
that a
for
thing?
you, is-
how is that a thing though? Like the number of things, does that incriminate you? I don't understand.
He had a fuck ton, dude. Like he was ready
Okay.
for like a zombie apocalypse times 10, dude. Like,
But that makes him a criminal?
I'm not saying that, but I was like, what do you need this many for? I mean, dude, they had the cop, the fucking agents that. I mean,
When shit goes down, we're gonna go
the
get-
agents that were taken out were like, whoa.
Huh.
Like fucking, this is enough for an
Some of
army.
those went missing.
Yeah, I mean, but do you think that was a lot?
Yeah, he had a couple.
I saw that. She was like, "Wow, dude, that many? Like, I mean, what are we preparing for over there, bro? You know, like, where do you? How do you have all that space? Like, dude, I mean, they. Am I exaggerating? They took out a lot.
He had I don't remember exactly how many he had, but he had a shit ton.
Yeah. I mean, are you one of those guys?
Not quite there yet.
No.
Working towards it.
Are you ready for zombie apocalypse? Is that what you're waiting for?
No. Well, it depends what you call a zombie apocalypse. You know?
I don't believe in a zombie apocalypse,
Yeah.
but I do believe
You
in
gotta
this
be
shit might not
prepared.
be forever. Like
Oh.
I
So,
get that
so you guys
feeling.
are very pro guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Are we in America? Then yeah.
see, here's the thing. Like I you know, because we're very honest here. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, I feel like a lot of times in like politics, and a lot of times in like current affairs, we'll find a like trigger word that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
shuts off the conversation, and this is why I enjoy this podcast and stuff, because I feel like we can have an actual discussion, and I'm very fascinated in the whole gun controversy and stuff, especially David. I know you have 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, we're coming off of this Gilroy shit
Yeah.
and you know school shootings and all that stuff, but like I really would like to know, because I don't have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, oh well, my kids and hypotheticals and all that shit, but you actually have kids,
Right.
you know. So how do you feel about the stuff that goes on with like these mass shootings and all that?
Well, I mean, what can you really do to stop something like that? I mean, let's look at this last.
Podcast over. I have no answers.
I am triggered.
How dare you, sir?
Just catch that fucking.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back after these messages. So, anyways, no.
Sponsored by Target Master.
Well, let's look at all the laws.
Yeah.
Broke, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, he shot. What? He killed 3 people.
Oh, the
wounded
Gilroy
fucking
person.
12 others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, would one more law stop him?
No, I get it.
So what do you do? Strip everybody of their
Well,
guns?
have they started to unpack what happened there? Because it's typically like a mental health thing, and I don't want to just jump on that. Like everybody who has mental health issues, like the reason there's an issue.
Man, you're
But
only
just
fucking
society-
19 years old though. Like
He's 19.
he was 19.
19.
I don't know anything about him. His brain's not cooked.
And you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
And you know what? I don't want to go into here because I don't think that people like that should be recognized and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what, man? Let's stop giving them any kind of status.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
don't-
Because, you know,
that's what they want.
I feel like,
be
yeah,
talked about.
like, quick story. My girlfriend works at this nonprofit and stuff, and apparently one of her one of her coworkers had kids there, and 2 10-year-old boys, stuff like they're around that age, 10ish or whatever, and they had a little sister. They were at the festival,
Oh.
and dude, they actually they saw the shooter.
Yeah.
They reacted and they picked up their little sister and got the fuck out of there.
Wow.
Like that shit should be recognized. They should be on the motherfucking news.
Yeah, those
You know
are
what I mean?
heroes.
Those are heroes.
Yeah.
They should be on the fucking news. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You know, fuck him
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that shit. You know what I mean? Dude, my shit is like, if you want to fucking kill yourself, go in the fucking creek, kill yourself right there and let the animals eat you.
Yeah.
Fucking whatever, dude. You know? But
And there's a
don't.
reason why all these shooters go into gun-free zones. You know?
Just,
Just
Well,
easy.
It's an easy fucking target.
It's easy. Soft
yeah,
target is.
yeah,
what
it
they
is a
call
coward. Fucking, yeah.
You know? If you know no one's gonna shoot back.
Well, apparently this guy had some beef against the Garlic Festival itself, because apparently one of the last things that he posted before he went down there, he was talking shit like everything there is like overpriced, you know, everything's too expensive. So he had a personal vendetta against the actual
The
festival.
thing is that we're really quick to
He's
over.
not wrong. Shit's overpriced. I mean,
We're going into the mind of a shooter right now. Yeah, not bad. Nah, just like I mean, I get it, but I've heard articles on both sides. They try to highly politicize it, and I saw
It's
article.
always gonna happen.
I saw an article
Especially
today. It's like, you know
California.
what? They're trying to paint him as a white supremacist, and it wasn't so much so. You know what I mean? There are just fucking people that, you know, they really get, you know, angry. And, you know, fuck, man, we were angry youths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I really feel like if you don't have an outlet for us, for me and you, Chris, I know for me, it was music.
Yeah.
Let it all out
Oh,
there. You know, and
100%.
I feel like a lot of musicians, and especially like in the metal community, they're like, it's an outlet.
Yeah.
Or whatever you do. You go MMA, you doing fighting, you're doing music, you're doing art, whatever. You know, there is an outlet and stuff. And
What
I think
happened
for
to good
somebody,
old fashioned, I'm gonna do drugs. I'm depressed.
you know what? You know, there's a lot, you know, I can go in every which way direction on this because I feel like, especially today's youth, they can't handle certain shit.
oh, yeah.
Do
You can't
think
handle it.
So I think it's a symptom of society. That's what I mean by
No, but
it's a mental health thing, not to like pin it on like somebody who's depressed or has bipolar, whatever that is. I just mean as a society, I think it's a symptom of there's youth that has some kind of pain and they transgress it into the public.
But even that, it's a learned behavior. Unless let's say you're upset because you got fired, right? And your thing was, fucking go have a beer.
that'll do it for me.
When if it were to happen to me, I'd be like, what's my outlet? And the first thing that will come to my mind is like, well, let's have a beer.
Yeah.
So these people are learning either from the media or whatever. The point is that what is going on in their mind, that the idea, you know, I'm fucking angry because these garlic fries are like fucking $15. I'm gonna shoot up. Like, what sparked that idea? Instead of like, my protesting might be maybe standing in the front and like, you know, boycott this place because this place is too expensive. But this guy's idea was, I'm gonna go shoot him up.
Yeah, I mean, there are things going. I have a little theory about that. It's like I feel like I'm not a parent yet, obviously, and stuff like. I mean, you're a parent, you probably comment to this and stuff, right? But I don't think it's a good idea to tell your kids that it's a perfect world.
Oh fuck.
That you know what? You're gonna be sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're gonna be sad.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt. You're
That's
gonna
a
be
bitch.
wronged.
Yeah.
You're gonna be this. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that tell their kids and they lie to the kids and tell them that it's gonna be a perfect world. So when some real shit happens, they're like, I don't know how to deal with this.
Yeah, yeah.
The world is
Well,
over,
a
and in their head, the world is literally over because I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
A perfect example is Trump. He's a person that grew up thinking that everything was their way. I mean, there's some schools out there that give certificates or prizes even to the kid that sucked at whatever.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, for the first, well, not the first time and stuff, but I mean, David, how do you feel about that and stuff? I mean, it sounds like to me that you don't tell your kids the world is perfect, right? What do you what do you tell your kids?
No, I mean, I like my son. My son, he's what, 9 years old right now.
Mhm.
You know, he when he goes to school, he does math problems and stuff. He's pretty good at math, but he gets real frustrated, like if he doesn't get the right answer. Like
Mhm.
he gets like frustrated,
Mhm.
and you know, I'm like, hey, you know, you're gonna get shit wrong. You're gonna get shit wrong. That's a fucking part of life, dude. That's just the way it is. You're gonna fuck up. I fuck up. Everybody fucks up. You just gotta learn to deal with it. You know, there's gonna be failure in life.
I think there's a quote from Thomas Edison when he created the light bulb. He said, "I learned, let's say, I don't know, 100 ways of doing it the wrong way. It's just a matter of time of finding the right way of doing things." As me as an artist, you gotta get a bunch of bad drawings out of your system
Yeah.
before you do it right. Same thing with math or anything. Like
As a musician, you're learning a riff. You're gonna fuck up 100 times
Yeah,
until
yeah.
you get it right. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm going back to. It's like I feel like a lot of parents now tell their kids it's a perfect world, and if you're wronged,
you're still right.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You're still right.
Yeah,
I mean, the world owes you everything. You know?
Fuck, the world don't owe you a goddamn thing, dude.
Exactly. And I
Not a
think
fucking
that,
thing.
and I would hope that a lot of parents teach their kids that, because I really do feel like, because that's fucking dramatic, dude. I mean, you're fucking 19, man.
Yeah.
You haven't even started living. If I could talk to this kid, but, dude,
Your
you haven't
phone
even
has dropped.
you haven't even started
Yeah.
yet, bro.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Shit,
You know how much
yeah.
shit I did from 20 to 29. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah. And dude, like I said, we have our outlets and shit. You know what I mean? But let me ask you this: how do you? I mean, your kids are, the oldest is 11, and then 9, and then 6. Do they see this? Do they see like the shootings and stuff, and maybe ask?
I mean, I don't shield them from anything.
Yeah, that's good. But do they ask? What do you tell them?
Or what would you do if they were to ask you? Like, hey, I heard somebody at school talk about this happening. The girl, you know, I don't know if they've been there, but have you taken them over there?
No.
To the, well, let's say any place you've taken them before, like the flea market. That was actually the last time I saw you. Let's say somebody said, hey, Dad, the place that you took us last year, somebody got shot. I mean, what would you say?
So they haven't watched the news on this last shooting, but a couple of the previous ones, they were asking questions, and I just tell them, hey, obviously this guy had something going on, and he didn't know how to deal with it. There's.
At what age do you start talking about the concept of non-existing and death? Like, is that? I still don't know what like the appropriate age for that. Did they ask you about that? Like, what is death? What age group does that happen at?
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to my kids about that.
Like, when does that happen? What age group do they do that?
Hey, let me ask.
I-
How did you tell them?
I don't remember. I wouldn't recall the exact conversation, dude. But I mean, I don't bullshit them.
Yeah.
Because little side note and stuff, like we're sitting there talking about trailers and current movies. But I saw an article that was like talking about the Lion King, and they were like, I fucking saw this. They were like, maybe you should take your kids out of the part where Mufasa dies. Get the fuck out of here, dude. It's like, no, like, dude, this is life. Again,
Yeah,
you're sitting
yeah.
there telling them that it's a perfect world. You're gonna live for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Shit happens. Tragedy happens.
Yeah.
Like, lady,
You could fucking get in a car accident tomorrow, and God
yeah.
forbid you die and stuff. But dude, just so happens this is a reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't shield them for reality.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm genuinely curious.
God forbid that she turns on the National Geographic channel because she's gonna see naked.
I mean,
real
yeah.
Lion
I
King.
mean, but
What's it
good for you.
doing?
But the fact of the matter is, right? I admire you for that you're very open with your kids and all that stuff, with you got to be and stuff, but not every parent is. I mean, a lot of parents are like, it's my kid's way and no way and fucking this and that, but how do you prepare your kids for something like this? I mean, I don't want to get too far off the gun topic and stuff, but have they asked you about some of these shootings and like school shootings and shit? They have?
Yeah.
What'd they say?
Just what happened, what was the guy thinking, and like, you never know. I couldn't explain why some of the people do what they do.
And do they ask? But Dad, you have guns.
Yeah, they know I have guns. Like I said, I don't have.
And what do you tell them?
Well, I mean, they're guns.
Let it out. Don't hold back, dude. Let it out.
Well, guns take lives, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
But it depends how you use them.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
They're either defensively or offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So my guns are all defensive guns. That's what they're there for. I'm not looking to shoot someone. But if someone's coming at me, guess what? That's what it's there for.
To me, it's like knowledge base. If there's an opportunity to have knowledge base for something, why not have the knowledge base there? Like, it's a right that we have in this country where other places it's not. And I would rather have the knowledge that they don't have. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's an opportunity to have knowledge base. So why not be educated in it and represent it in a way that is responsible so that your kids go, like, I don't have kids, but if I, eventually have kids, I want them to be comfortable and safe around the thing. You know what I mean? Versus someone who fucking doesn't know what's happening, and when shit hits the fan, they just fucking, they're terrified. When you have knowledge base in an uncomfortable situation, then you're more like, you have more appropriate like algorithms to follow when things, like, I know what this thing is. I know what to do with this. Right, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a video years ago where some people set up a scene with a few kids. So they brought in kids that didn't have access to guns. Their parents weren't gun owners, nothing like that. And they had a gun on the table. There were two groups: the kids that grew up around guns, and kids that didn't.
Yeah.
So the kids that didn't grow up around guns, they were real curious about the gun, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. So guess what happened? One of the kids fucking picked it up, pointed it at a different kid, and fucking pulled the trigger.
Nice.
Because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, and on that subject, you guys all missed that one. But do you teach your kid? Do your kids know how to shoot?
They haven't shot yet, but I did buy them like a little Red Ryder BB gun type of thing. So, I mean, they kind of know how.
You
to
monster. But like, I saw a Christmas Story. I know what happens. But so you do plan on teaching them stuff. I get that concept. I totally understand that and stuff. Have you ever been in a situation where you think where you might have closely needed a gun?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Fuck. Well, there's been a couple times, but I mean, one of the times was.
Do you have a gun on you now?
No. One of the times was. This was years ago, dude. This was probably fucking 05, 06, right when I got with my girl. But we were driving down the street, and I see some dude just fucking wailing on his girlfriend or some shit, dude, just beating the shit out of her.
Really?
Yeah. But I was with Angie, and I was like, dude, well, what the fuck do I do?
Did you have a gun on you?
No.
Damn.
No, I don't usually carry.
Okay, hold on. Okay, you guys are on the street.
Oh, we were driving.
And you saw him on the side of the road?
Yeah. He was in the middle of the street just beating the shit out of this chick.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And then we decided to just drive over them, both of them.
But she was like, you already got your ass beat, and you should just get killed. So fuck it, dude. Natural selection, bro.
At that point, I would have done society a fucking favor.
Right. What'd you do?
Call the cops. Nothing I could do. Put my life at risk. Not sure about that.
No,
But did you think that guy would have came at you? I mean,
Yeah.
you were in your car.
Yeah, I was in my car.
You would have got out.
I would have gone out.
Hey, what are you doing?
What do you say?
Hey, what are you doing? I just said that.
Hey,
I think that would have stopped him.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, thanks for pointing
Hey.
that out. All right. I was
Wait, what am I doing?
Hey, more cops get killed responding to domestic violence calls.
Yeah,
than
that is
anything else.
that is true. Yeah.
I believe it.
It's
That's why when it's a
unabashed.
domestic violence, usually they always call for backup even before the first one shows up because, yeah, I've read stuff about that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, dude, I'm going home.
Yeah. But okay, let's say you're in a very gun-friendly state. You would have shot him?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
Carry?
I'm still like I'm pro gun, but I'm still squirrely about that stand your ground law. I still don't know
In
what
Florida?
I don't know what the
Yeah,
the rules are there. Like I could just be like, I don't like your shirt. Stand my ground. Your shirt's offensive.
He's coming right for me.
Yeah, he's coming right for me. I still don't know.
He's walking towards my direction.
Because I'm torn about that one. I'm 100% pro gun, but and I guess it is a state to state thing. Like it shouldn't.
And that's sometimes what's the problem.
I'm curious, Lala. Where do you stand on this?
Okay, so me and David have this discussion before. it's like hot potato. We just bring it back. I have nothing.
usually right.
I have nothing against.
I like that. Stand your ground, sir. Came right for me.
I mean, I have nothing against guns. I've gone to shooting range myself, so clearly I'm not. I don't want to be a hypocrite in that case, in that sense, because I shot guns. I shot shotguns before, and it's good for sort of like sport. Like you're gonna go shoot targets, whatever. But to go shoot, you say as a defense. I don't see myself doing that because I've been in situations where
It's not for everybody.
No, and I get it. That's what I have never tried to convince you. Like I think you're bad just because you have guns. There's nothing. Just like you have a collection of guns, I have a collection of starships, and there's
Now
nothing
that you
wrong
should
with
worry
it.
about.
Oh no, you're
That's the Third Amendment. We needed to put
I propose an amendment right now to the Constitution.
So I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, for people who believe that the whole world is against them, like some of the guy from LA, that's where it's like, okay, it's a little excessive. There's no.
Oh, the one
point.
that hoarded a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to pull up a picture. so you can see.
How can exercising your right be excessive? How many words can you write in a book before it's excessive? How many podcasts?
Okay, I granted. I mean, so like
The point where the kids' beds have to go because it's getting in the way of your guns. Maybe a little excessive.
Sleep on the M4s. They're a little profile. It's fine.
sleep on the Glocks tonight, okay?
They're blocky. It's fine.
When it comes to like collecting, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I wish I could have a shotgun, a 12 gauge shotgun, and just leave it on my wall. And I'll just leave it there. I saw like a trophy. I'm never gonna use it. I'm never gonna take it off for that purpose.
It's a fun time.
Now I talked to this is not you. These other people at work that are like, oh, you have to have guns in case the government becomes tyrannical. And I had a discussion yesterday at work, and it's like, do you know what's going on right now with politics? Your excuse, when the government becomes tyrannical, it's kind of what's going on right now, and I don't see
you should buy guns.
What happened?
So then you should buy guns.
I'm talking about this guy that I talked to yesterday.
Hmm.
His whole reason is like, well, the kids the government becomes tyrannical. Well, I don't see you raising your arms right now because of what's going on. But granted, he said he voted for Trump, so I'm like, okay, I can't argue with you.
Oh wow. Yeah.
But
Let me get sponsored by Target Masses first, then go buy guns.
Dave, what got you into guns?
What got me into guns? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I mean, I went out shooting a couple times when I was after I moved down to San Diego, and
oh, thank you.
I don't know.
Do you think it's a mindset? For me, I believe it's people that just have a preparedness mindset. It's like people that are more Boy Scouts like oriented or something.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to be in the Boy Scouts. It's just you think for worst case scenario, not because you want to invite it. You just know life. The world is like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like this guy
Bad
with the
shit happens.
bad shit happens. Like that fucking Gilroy shooter. Like bad shit really does happen.
But man, I mean, here's the thing. okay, think of 99, right? When the Columbine shit happened, like, how often do we hear about that shit before then? You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, mass shootings wasn't even in the fucking vocabulary, wasn't in the conversation, it wasn't all that shit. So, yeah, it was a lot easier to defend then and stuff. But when you see this shit now, the shit that happens, and, you know, it's I don't know.
I was very curious about that myself, like what the number of, like, so maybe mass shootings is a thing. I don't know if that's an organic, like, blossoming of society growing. Like, before that, maybe there was crazy shit that went down all the time, but it was always at a local level because information was, the bandwidth was very, like, tightened down to, like, a local level. Like, I really don't know what it looked like before that, but, you know, guns have been a thing since forever or whatever. Like, Columbine, because we were all in high school at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I think I was
a sophomore, you were a
junior year or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like this tragic thing, and it was like, oh my god, this will never happen again. And then it just keeps becoming more of a thing.
Dude, I remember I was in PE. We were playing tennis, and I forgot the name of the teacher from Mount Pleasant, a very tall white guy at PE. I forget. Anyways, he is gonna, hey guys, gather around. And we're thinking we're gonna go inside or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like we're gonna go in the pool. I don't know. It's like gather up, people, gather up. It's like, all right, before you hear this from your parents, this is what happened. And I'm sure right now, if there's a school shooting, nobody gather around. It's just, that was just weird. Like, to gather around people, this happening in Columbine. What the fuck is that? It's in this state, in this high school, and apparently right now it was just two guys. So it was just weird. Like, let's gather around and talk about it.
Well, it was weird. And then so there was that one, and then in college there was the Virginia Tech. And I'm not trying to bring these back up, like, to glorify these people. It was just, is it a expression of society growing
It's
beyond
also the
its-
media just putting a lot of focus on it.
Yeah,
That's
like,
also part of
like
it.
I don't know
It's
what
true.
the statistics
I
were
remember.
beforehand.
I remember one. I mean, I had Peter was my roommate, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was giving him a ride to his mom's house in I believe it was Hayward. So she lives around the school. She lives around the corner from the school, and I'm sitting there dropping him off. And I remember, you know, he's like, look, there's a high school right there. He goes, they have fucking shootings there every so often. You just don't hear about them at school. And I'm just like, wow. Like, you would think that every single one is like, reported on and stuff, you know, but he's like, dude, that shit happens all the time, but just nobody gives a shit about this high school.
Exactly. I'm just genuinely
You know?
curious what the actual statistics were before.
But then you got your fucking psychos that fucking will sit there and copycat this
killers,
shit,
yeah.
and it's
They
not
just
about.
want the
It's not about.
attention.
They just. I think they just shot down this chick that was like. They were like she worshipped the fucking guys from Columbine.
Really?
And there was some sort of
was a chick?
incident. Yeah,
Huh.
there was some sort of incident where she was planning to do it, and they ended up catching her, and they. You know,
Was this like a week or 2 weeks ago?
No, man, this was. I think it was like sometime last year. Yeah, I could look it up and stuff, but yeah,
But-
I remember that. But go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, David, you're very passionate about this. I see. I mean, as passionate as
so
you
to
can
tangent off that, it's like I really don't know
be.
what the world was like, because obviously it's news, obviously it's a serious thing, but then it becomes the top of conversation. I don't know what it was before then, what the statistics were. Maybe they weren't nearly as bad.
Lewinsky. That was also that's what everyone was talking about before that.
Yeah.
Lewinsky.
Somehow this makes sense. Let him go.
But to tangent off what he's saying, it's like bad shit happens. So before it was covered, you got to be aware of bad shit happening. Like
Absolutely.
before Columbine, I knew bad shit happened. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
now it's covered, so it's like it's the topic of societal conversation. But bad shit always happens, and like you were saying with
I want
Peter,
to bring a point before I gotta step out for a little bit. But I want to bring a point. One of the things that sort of get me upset about all these people getting guns, and I'm gonna bring back to this one story. So one time, me and David and Joel went to the Cow Palace for like a knife show or something like that. The day that we got lost, we couldn't find the Cow Palace, and we finally get there. And it's like it's nothing but like knives, right? And we went up to one place, and I'm like actually looking at a knife, like at this place, and I pick up a knife, and the lady, because I remember it's like an older white lady, she's like, "Son, you gotta drop it, you gotta drop it." So I'm like, okay, so you gotta be 18 to touch anything. Mine, I was already 18. David and Joel were actually 17. So I was like, I couldn't even pick up a knife. And these guys are going across the state lines. And, well, the guy from Gilroy, and he bought a semi AK-47
In Nevada, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, I can't pick up a knife because I don't look 18. Yeah, this guy who is 19 went across the state line.
Oh no,
and,
he
and
just
got
pissed
a
off David.
fucking
Here he goes.
almost a semi AK-47.
Semi-automatic.
So you're talking about all the loopholes that are kind of there.
Exactly. My problem is the loopholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't drink, but you could buy a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, retort.
Well, before we get into that,
Oh, David,
Did you know-
I'm gonna piss you off before
I'm
we go.
sure you knew coming into this the topic was going to be guns. Dude. I've always admired you and Adolfo of the group of people we know. Like, you guys are very staunch in that, like, exercising that right. It was always kind of a like, oh, that's cool. These guys like,
If you don't exercise your right, do you fucking have it?
yeah, exactly. So no,
If I can't say offensive shit,
yeah. But did you know coming into this, doing the podcast, we were gonna just jump on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all I think of.
It was totally telegraphed.
Yeah.
But-
I was all researching my topics and shit.
Let me get the statistics.
He's got case fucking case names and
Well,
stuff.
citation
But
noted.
let me.
Citation noted.
And this is the reason I enjoy this and stuff, because we can have this conversation and stuff. So let me play devil's advocate, okay? Let me play devil's advocate, okay? Were you obviously you weren't as passionate before about this topic before you had guns? Did you ever think about it before you had guns?
I didn't think about it.
You didn't think about it, right? But then you started having guns, and then you were like, okay, you start seeing shit. You get older, experiences happen, and all that shit, right? Let me ask you this. God forbid something happens to your kids and some sort of school shooting.
Right.
Would you still feel the same way?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I can't answer that until it happens, but yeah, I would think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I would want, because I don't have kids, but I would want my kids to have the awareness.
Yeah.
Then
And God forbid, like I say, God forbid that happens.
No, I don't want anything like that to ever happen to anybody.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would rather my kids understand the gravity of the situation, like those fucking kids that picked up their sister and just like dipped out. Like,
Yeah.
that's some people, they just, because there's no awareness to a situation, are just like, basically soft targets.
Yeah.
Don't know what to do. Freeze up.
Yeah.
No.
That's one of the natural reactions. People think it's a fight or flight.
Fight, flight.
No, it's fucking freeze. A lot of people just freeze.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. And I try to teach my kids as best I can to be aware of what's happening around them. Even in fucking parking lots. Hey, fucking hear that? There's a car running. Figure out which car's fucking running.
But
So you don't walk into
it's
the
easy to
motherfucker.
say that, but like I for some reason, I sit there and I like to see all aspects of this situation and stuff, right? But when you're in a festival and you're around a lot of people, or even at school, you hear gunshots. But dude, it could be an echo, or there could be multiple shooters. So people start running all chaotic and stuff, right? You don't know if the shooter's coming from the left, the right. If there's 3 shooters, one's coming from every which direction now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really easy to say when you're not in the moment, but when you're in the moment, you're just like, and you're not used to it, obviously.
Yeah.
So you fucking sit there and you're like, which way do I run? Which way is going to save my life? You obviously don't know and stuff. You know what I mean?
No one ever knows.
But again, I'm playing devil's advocate here and stuff.
yeah.
No, but is there anything that would change your mind on guns?
I don't fucking think so, dude. I sure as fuck hope not.
Really?
It's fundamental, dude. It's fundamental.
But that's not a natural thing.
Wait,
it's not.
Defending yourself against someone trying to take your life is absolutely
how's that not natural?
Well, guns are man-made. I'm saying. I mean, it's not
But
something that was
violence is
organically made.
natural.
That's true.
So it's not
Spears, knives.
So
Yeah.
that's just
It'd be a fucking addle, dude.
yeah. That's the
So what do you feel about the when again when people bring in, they go, you know what? Ever since so and so country banned guns, they've had way less gun violence and almost none.
Okay.
What do you say?
Okay, well let's
pull up the statistics. You did the research.
let's
go.
look at Australia, dude.
Uh-huh.
They did a mandatory gun buyback,
Uh-huh.
and now there's more guns in that country than there were before.
Oh yeah, well you get the black, but okay. So when you see this whole thing with the whole Sri Lanka thing, right? Remember the whole shooting that just happened?
No.
No?
No.
The Easter shootings that happened in Sri Lanka.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
You don't remember that, dude? It happened. So
Is it-
it
did it
was.
happen in
It was.
America?
Oh,
No.
dude, don't quote me on this, but there was.
It was like a church. Or
Yes,
some
they were killed in
yeah,
church.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And Sri Lanka said, "We're gonna ban guns. That's it."
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, okay,
I think it's reactionary though,
Yeah.
because people need to do a thing after something happens.
yeah, it's because
Right, it's reactionary, but what's going to happen is, yeah, maybe you get, let's say you bang all guns and you buy back all guns 100%. There's no fucking loopholes. You take every single last one somehow. I don't know how that will happen. Are the criminals going to stop committing crimes?
of course
Are
not.
murders going to stop?
Of course not. And realistically, right? Realistically,
You're just trading gun violence for a
Knife,
different
yeah.
type of violence.
no, yeah, realistically and
Are those-
stuff. But you can't do.
Are those deaths somehow less?
Yeah, but
You're just trying to do
one thing
damage
is that
control. Like I'm playing devil's advocate too. It's like less.
no, and I like
people
this. I like
affected.
this
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
right? But the thing is that like people that are against it would say, okay, well, when these laws were made, right? When the Constitution was written and stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
These guys had fucking loading
muskets?
one musket, you know, like.
That's the thing, though. They didn't. They had fucking. They had.
Did they have automatics?
Oh yeah, they had fucking. Look up.
In
look up-
1776, they had automatics.
Absolutely. They had silencers. They had all kinds of shit, dude.
So why we
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
were fighting with muskets for?
Yeah.
What was the military fighting with muskets for? I gotta look that one up and stuff.
Cheaper. You want to talk about government?
I don't gotta pay that soldier if he's dead, right?
Something-
Yeah, that's good.
There's something I just saw a couple days ago where
Yeah.
they were saying
You're
that
telling me in
the-
1776 there was automatic weapons?
Yeah.
Maybe a
absolutely.
selected few, but not for an
Who were
entire
they owned by?
army.
They were owned by ordinary people. Ordinary people had fucking guns that were better than
Well, the thing is, they probably rigged it
Really?
themselves. That's, but not for an open market.
yeah, absolutely.
Automatic.
I read something a couple days ago.
But we're talking 1776, and we're talking about
My point being,
tyrannical like governments and patriots. Like,
yeah, of
how
course.
did this country be a thing? It was a bunch of
Well, I
fucking goons with guns that were
I
like,
don't. When,
no.
when was
That's
the
all they said was we don't want to do
cartridge
that.
created? It wasn't
You know
until
what I mean?
around the Winchester rifle came
Yeah,
around
it
when
might
they
have been
had.
after that, but yeah.
But so, how would it be an automatic when the
There was.
cartridge bullet was not until like after the Revolutionary or during the Revolutionary War?
So, dude, I love this because you're all in, and
You
that's
gotta
cool.
be, dude. It's a right.
Okay, so let me ask you something because obviously you could have been born and you wouldn't know this and stuff, right? So it's almost useless asking this question and stuff, but you know, if it wasn't here, there are countries that don't have these rights and stuff. So this is very alien to some of these other countries, you know. So even with your family being involved with, I gotta respect that even if your family was involved in some sort of gun violence, it wouldn't change your mind.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude.
Wow.
That's to be respected, you know. Somebody that has ideals.
But it's easy to say.
Yeah, it's easy to say, dude. I mean, I won't know until something happens, but
So what would you do if tonight they said, you know what, we're banning guns? Bam.
okay, good luck.
Oh, you're one of
Again,
those?
he only
From
has a
my
couple.
cold dead hands.
Good
That's you.
luck.
He only needs to account for a couple. Like this. We said that at the start.
No,
One,
not
two.
even that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I'll send you my.
Solo, hold on. You just walked in, and I'm just saying, because I'm just trying to figure out his position. Where do you stand on guns?
But I really don't care. I don't care. No, hold on. I don't care about guns, like to have an opinion about it. But like David was saying, good luck, because at the end of the day, they cannot ban guns unless you're going to get rid of that amendment straight the fuck out. And unless you're gonna, that's
I mean,
straight out,
I'm
right?
realistic. I'm realistic because if that were to happen, I know we wouldn't see it in our lifetime.
And I'll tell you what,
we wouldn't see it in our lifetime.
And I'll tell you what, if they were to change that amendment, you know what? That would just open up the door and the floodgates for everything else to be
to
changed.
get rid of the First Amendment.
Exactly.
Which they
so
also.
now you got to ask yourself, but anybody who wants guns to be banned, you got to think about it. It's not just as obviously right now it is because of what just happened and how things are turning out to be right now with the gun situation. But you also got to think about the other stuff. Is we ban guns, which now you're literally getting rid of an amendment, and what does that mean for the other ones? Because if it was that easy that people were pushing for it so hard, the public was pushing for it to change, because that's literally what you're doing, then if the public pushes, or if the government says, okay, well, you get that, but we get this kind of situation, correct? So it's like, sure, we'll get rid of the guns, but then you can't, there's no freedom of speech.
Right.
You got to shut the fuck up when we say something.
It's like when you seed one
So
thing, you seed everything.
exactly, and let's be realistic. Governments ain't stupid, especially ours. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing.
Well, I don't know about now,
Well,
but
the second,
No,
the Second
you
Amendment
might not like the way
protects
shit
everything
is.
else.
Yeah,
Person
you might not
who's in
like.
leadership might be stupid.
Yeah, but you may not
Dave,
like the way it is.
say it again.
The Second Amendment protects all your other fucking rights.
Like what?
Like
Give us an
freedom of
example.
speech, dude. Everything else. There's 3 ways to change the world. The fucking the ballot box, the soap box, and the fucking cartridge box. That's it.
okay.
That's a magazine.
It took me a while.
Pretty poignant. Could we
But
make that the
people
title of
people
this
call it
podcast? Could we make that the title of this podcast right
Everybody-
here?
Like, I personally never been. I'm not a person. I have never argued about getting rid of the Second Amendment. It's just about, I think we just need some kind of universal background, because, like in California, there's certain things you cannot get. But if you go to the next state, you can get the gun that you cannot get here, and you could just, I mean, you buy a gun over there and you're driving back whatever freeway it is. There's no checkpoint.
Well, there is a checkpoint, but it's not for guns. The checkpoint is for, like, if you're bringing
Agricultural stuff.
Yeah, agricultural. But so I think what might happen, I think now, is they're probably gonna make it now a harder checkpoint.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Change.
I don't think so either.
But it's
But
what
if
they-
they,
the
but if
logical thing
exactly,
to do.
if they're gonna be like, all right, we're not gonna ban the guns, but we got these connecting states that do allow it, right? That allow semi and automatic weapons, and you could bring it in easily to Cali. Well, then we should fucking just make it harder to get in.
Are you
right?
okay with independent, like every state having its own independent, like, figure it out for each state by state,
Don't we do that with other shit though?
right?
That's
Yes,
what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
think
we do,
just need
because
to have
there's some states that allow weed. There's some shit that
Right.
consensual sex is 16.
Right.
You know,
right. No,
shit like that.
absolutely,
You know?
In Utah, you have more than one wife.
So the way it works in California,
Or is it Utah or
you
Ohio?
can't buy
Well, yeah,
gun in
it's
a
one of
different
those.
state unless it's a CNR, it's a curio or relic. That's it. I can't go to Nevada and buy an AR. That's not possible, not legally. But I can buy an older gun, a curio and relic, which is like a 75-year-old or older gun.
Basically a vintage weapon.
See,
Exactly.
okay. So have you heard of this whole 3D printing guns?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're good at that.
I've got the files. Hey.
Can you send me them?
I don't fucking doubt that. But see,
Yeah,
obviously you're good
I
at
have
that.
mine. Yeah, I can build one if you want to.
I mean, yeah, and that's another way of doing it. I mean,
You're not gonna get rid of guns. No
yeah,
matter what
it's
the fuck you do.
dude.
Yeah.
Think about it. I know the tragedies that has happened and has happened right now lately, and it's
All those deaths are
horrendous.
tragedies, dude.
It's horrendous. It's one of the worst things that
Yeah,
at least us
absolutely.
here living close nearby have. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but that guy that lost his son, I think he went to James Lick.
Yeah.
I think he was like a year younger than me or something.
Oh,
I didn't know him personally. I only know because of Craig.
Oh, you know who else knew him? Betty Cash. She knew him.
Yeah, see? Well, yeah, he lived in that area. So it's one of those things, right? But again, it becomes one of those things of like what that person, what that kid, that child did, because he's 19, to me, he's a child.
Yeah.
What he did is stupid and was very, very dumb. But again, hence why I say I don't really care about guns, like in any sense of the thing, but like here's one for them, like the people who do like guns. Did the gun shoot itself? No, it didn't.
No, fuck
It
no,
fucking
dude.
didn't.
Yeah.
It's not like the gun grew some legs and said, I'm gonna kill it. It's not the way it worked.
Yeah,
it
but-
was somebody who was controlling. Now, the
It's
fact that it was easy for that kid to get it, yes. I'm saying it. That's the fucked up part, yes. And the fucked up part that he was able to get it, right? But you take away that gun stuff, dude, and dude, you're gonna see a revolution. I mean, that's just it.
like
That's
I
just
said,
it.
I
And
don't-
you just can't. You cannot.
How hard
dude.
should it be to exercise a right?
Well, nowadays, like we're going to this political correctness stuff. You can't say that's the First Amendment right. You're supposed to be able to say whatever you want, but in today's society, you really can't.
Really can't, because I mean, you can. You really
That's
can,
true.
but you're gonna have like a million people on your ass because you said certain things. But fuck it, whatever.
Well, that's why
What'd
you
you say?
don't.
It's all right. I got a gun.
Yeah.
Can you
It's
shoot
what it
him
is.
first? Can you shoot Salo first?
He's gonna defend me
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
So, I need the biggest loudmouth in the goddamn room.
Hide behind me, dude.
Yeah. You got the mouthpiece. Get on over here,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
I mean, it's just it's. Listen, again, I think it's a horrendous thing, but
Absolutely.
you know, like I said, I don't buy guns. I don't go shooting. I mean, how many times have you, Chris, tried to convince me to go with you? And I'm always kind of reluctant, and because I'm not that gun guy, right? I'm just not. You don't never hear me say I'm gonna go buy a gun. But I'm not also hating on people who like guns. It is what it is. All my family in Mexico, they all own guns.
All
you know
you
what I'm
guys should
saying?
own guns.
So, and I
Just
agree.
have the awareness.
agree.
I feel like if everybody was just educated, that's all it is.
You know, I think it comes down to the people who own a gun, and
It's a society problem, not a gun problem.
are they, I guess, healthy enough? And
That's why I can agree with that.
Society's
It's
changed, dude. And
Yeah,
society's
absolutely.
changed because years ago, in the fucking 30s, 40s, you used to be able to order guns out of a fucking catalog and get
Yep.
them shipped right to your fucking house.
I did it on,
Tommy guns and shit.
yeah, straight up.
Yeah?
Yep.
I think
mean,
it's
yeah. I mean, you can't. It's really it's really hard to sit here and.
we
think
live in
that
a
that's gonna
society, like Juan has said many times, we live in a society that people get triggered so quickly.
Absolutely.
Before you finish a sentence, somebody's already mad at you.
If they even see your lip quivering to say something wrong, they're on your ass. I mean, it's like I said, you got the freedom of speech, but you say something, you're gonna have about 1 billion people mad at you. I mean, that's just but whatever. I mean, it's to get rid of guns is such a big thing,
Yeah,
dude.
Ain't
I don't
gonna
think
happen.
it's
It's not
And
that
it's-
easy
and
to
I-
just
and-
say let's do it.
It's not gonna happen.
It's
like,
not.
like I've had that conversation.
And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, people who think that we should are wrong, or people that think that we shouldn't are wrong. I don't, everybody, like you said, you got to respect everybody's opinion, but the end point, I think, is that even a plausible idea? I don't think so.
It's not.
No.
Because again, it has to do with the amendment, and
The
if you're gonna
US
change that, you're gonna change now. It's opening the floodgates for everything else to change.
The U.S. has like fucking 40% of the world's guns, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more than that, but yeah, it's pretty high.
You ain't getting rid of those. It's just ain't gonna happen. And even if you do, you wave a fucking magic wand and you fucking get rid of them. Guess what? People know how to fucking machine tools.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
You're gonna make more. There will be fucking black markets opening up, and they will.
Dude, you
fucking-
got Salvatruchas making shotguns out of like pipes and a nail.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And
you
then
just
they
go to
sell-
Home Depot and you just
Yeah,
it's
sell
so
Sell them
easy
to
to
the
do.
government
Straight
for
up.
fucking $50. Hey, you came up with $45, dude, just like that.
It's a tough thing to just.
Blanket statement.
Yeah,
over.
you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and because there is more than enough people who do want guns. You know what I'm saying? Just because we live in California, not maybe everybody in California, but you go down Texas. Good God.
Dude, are you one of these guys that like when right now we have a Republican president, obviously and stuff, but when the next Democratic president is, you gonna stock up?
It doesn't matter who the fuck the president is.
No,
Because liking guns, I don't think has anything. to
No,
do with
because
the
laws
president. I think
change.
it's like
Laws
guns.
change, and a lot of people, when a Republican president comes in, they're not tripping because it's not going to get
Well,
changed stuff. But
well, this
but when because like for instance, when Obama came into
people bought so
people
many
bought
guns.
more
It's only
because
another fucking year.
Yeah.
no, yeah, but
Yeah, before
because
we continue,
no,
sponsor by talking about this.
but because
That's the other thing.
it's because
Yeah.
they're of the
Sponsored by
fear
Party Match.
of the fear of what's going to change, all the laws that are going to change, and all that. So you're not one of these guys that stocks up when the next president comes in.
No, it doesn't matter.
Like, I don't think David is going to war. I know he likes guns.
I don't know, man. You missed
But-
the whole conversation right
There
now.
hasn't been
Well, come on, man.
Dude,
Be
they-
realistic.
Be able to go to war.
there hasn't been a single
Then I go to war
Democratic-
every fucking day. When I try to put on my pants and go to work, I go to war every motherfucking day. I know what y'all was talking about. I go to war every day at work, trying not to kill these motherfuckers from saying stupid shit. But I don't need a gun for that. Let me tell you, I got gun 1 and gun 2. I'm just saying, dude. Listen. You're right. I missed that. I did miss that part of it, but like I don't know, man. Like I just don't see that happening. It is not. I don't. It's not as easy, dude, to say, listen, America, No more guns, America.
Yeah, bullshit.
Shit. You got that whole southern part of the United States saying, yeah, that's not going to
Not
happen.
only the southern part, but all your politicians. Guess what? They get protected by guns.
Yeah.
So why not you?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Because nobody gives a shit about killing me.
That's true.
No one's after me.
That's the most honest thing you've said all day, baby.
Yeah, maybe no one's after you, but hey, if they can take your fucking take your wallet, why not? Take your car, why not, dude? It's a
Not again.
you could always be.
No, I know. I get that. I get the whole point. Like, it's my gun. I want to have guns. Why should anybody?
I don't think it's your gun. It's your right. That's what
Well,
people are fighting.
Not just
The
about right.
Rights
It's
are bigger than you and me. Dude.
Yeah.
it's
At least
I,
that's what they should
I mean,
be.
I wouldn't want anybody coming over and telling me, you know what? We're gonna take away all your Nintendos, and from now on, you can no longer play
Yeah,
video
right?
games. I'll be like, what?
Yeah.
I'm
And
about
if
to
you had a
kill
gun,
bitch
he'd say,
now.
well,
The
Listen.
difference and the counterpoint is that do Nintendos kill people and children?
they have. Yes.
There's
Wait,
studies
Why do you
that say
think?
that
Why do you
they-
think?
slowly-
No.
they're slowly
Hold on.
killing
Hear me.
people
Why do you
and
think they've made like I don't know if you guys remember when Grand Theft Auto I think it was the one that first came out like for the console. When it first came out, it was very violent. I mean, and kids were doing crazy ass shit. I don't know if they were killing people, but they were definitely hurting people because of the game.
Same thing as
But
people
hear me.
It's the same thing as people that watch wrestling. They're gonna do the stunts and killing themselves.
Exactly. I mean,
But-
it's the same thing. Like what I'm saying is, you're just not gonna. It's again, you're not gonna change. You're not gonna tell people that they can't do something because a couple stupid people do wrong things with it. You know. What I'm
But
saying?
the whole point is, like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't want anybody to come to tell me that I can't have something that I'm
Exactly.
passionate about.
Or you can't say something. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a few people like, all right, well, I'm just gonna comply just because I don't want to have a problem with the government. But there are gonna be some people like,
Those
fuck
people.
no, like, why is my life gonna be controlled by X or Y? You know,
Yeah.
It's hold on. You came in a little late to this conversation, but I asked David the same thing. and stuff.
Can you step out, please?
I was gonna say, okay, now you don't have kids, but you have nieces and nephews, right? Okay. Would it change your mind at all if your nieces and God forbid, but your
Right.
nieces and nephews were involved in a tragedy with guns?
Would it change my mind in what situation?
About guns.
No.
Still feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, because again, because if that's the case, then I'd feel different about each and every one of you, because it's a human who pulled the trigger. Right.
Profound. Nice.
So then that means I would hate you and I would hate guns. Man, I don't got time for that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, yeah, it would suck because what's the difference? What if he used a knife?
Yeah, exactly.
Am I gonna be mad at the knives? What?
Yeah.
So when I'm fucking
all the knives.
when I'm in the kitchen, get rid of my
I
fucking
am mad
knife.
because I wasn't able to buy one.
When you were 18.
No, but does,
Well,
does that
David
make
could
sense?
pick it
I'm
up
playing
'cause he had
devil's
a full
advocate.
fucking
I'm playing
goatee
devil's.
beard.
Well, I know.
Hold on. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but there are countries that do ban guns.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, and the UK is starting to ban fucking knives, dude.
yeah.
I mean, how deep does the rabbit hole go?
Guns.
Because-
What if I just say it just stops at guns?
Does it?
Because- one.
that's a hypothetical because you could be like, well, it can go to that, it could go to that, and could go to that. But what
Well,
if I
but
just
what
say
if
just
somebody-
guns? That's it. That's it.
Bullshit, dude.
What if somebody strangled?
Why are you
what if
so
somebody
convinced that-
strangled your nephew or
Hold on,
your
hold on.
niece?
Why are you so
We're gonna
convinced?
ban strangling?
Are you gonna ban the guy's hand?
You know how long it takes to strangle somebody? You're gonna get one victim.
It doesn't
no,
matter.
no.
It
You
doesn't
know,
fucking matter.
it was
right?
funny.
I mean,
it was funny because there was this one incident and stuff where I heard this story in Japan. This guy lost his mind, right? And he fucking went in and he came in with a knife and he killed a few kids and stuff, right? He came into a classroom and he fucking killed a few kids and stuff,
Sure.
right? And so it was a tragedy and stuff, but he didn't get that many and stuff, right? So then my girl's like, this is not funny, but I was laughing at it because they started doing drills. They started doing drills where, like, they would come in randomly with knives, and so the kids would be like prepared for it. And one of the little girls would not stop throwing up after this kid came in. This guy came in with like a fucking knife and a fucking mask and shit, and
That
she
is
was
fucking traumatizing.
she was so dude, and I could not stop laughing my fucking ass because it was like a drill, right? He came in, he was like and fucking the little girl could not stop throwing up and stuff, and fucking fucking.
Hey,
I thought that shit was hella
I
funny.
guarantee you that chick did not get stabbed.
Yeah, no, it was a drill. The funny part that it was a drill. It was not real. So the fucking guy comes in, and the girl, and fucking, I thought was the fucking hilarious thing. And my girl was like, that's not funny. And I was like, that's the fucking funniest thing I've heard in a fucking while.
But yeah, so what happens then? What happens then? You ban knives now?
No. But you can only kill so many people with knives.
Okay.
I'm just playing. Hold on. I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's all.
But hear me about this. You say you can kill more people, but do you think that the person who loses that person cares how many
what the
people?
number is.
Yeah,
Someone got
you
lost.
still lost somebody.
That's tragic, dude.
Yeah,
Those
you can't.
deaths are not
That
any
doesn't
less
mean
tragic.
shit because even if that guy killed one person, the father of that child, the mother, the brother, the sister, the
doesn't
cousin,
matter. It's that person.
that's 1,000 people. It doesn't fucking matter. So you can't use that. At the end of the day,
Trying to keep the conversation going.
I know. But at the end of the day,
Honestly.
at the end of the day, if you're gonna do stuff like that, right, and say, well, the gun this, the gun that, then you're gonna have to talk about knives. You're gonna have to talk about rocks. You're gonna have to talk about clubs. You're gonna have to talk about people who beat up people with their hands and kill
Putting
them with
shit
their
on
bare
people's
hands.
face.
What are you gonna do? Start cutting everybody's hands off so you don't do that? It's just it's
I think it's
not,
just back to this is the reality of the world we live
Yeah,
in.
it's-
This is a real.
More people die from getting beat to death than from assault rifles or any type of rifle.
yeah.
Every year, dude.
I mean,
They're
it's
called domestic violence.
And those deaths aren't
yeah.
any less tragic. Or any more tragic.
Yeah, it sucks that yes, these powerful weapons are easy to be held by children because that's what he was. But it wouldn't have made if he would have gone with the knife or with the sword or with the katana that you could buy online and swung at unfortunately those same 3 people that passed away and killed him. What would you have said then? Ban knives. No, it's not the thing. It's not the weapon. It's the person that was wielding the
just a tool.
weapon, dude.
The gun is just a
Yeah,
tool.
because what if he would have punched 3 people and killed those 3 people? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Say that you can't? You should cut everybody's hands because now they're lethal. You just can't. It becomes a situation of the.
Well, I would
the-
say
the
if you
human that was- that
could
was
kill
wielding-
150 people
No,
with
but
your
he
He
hands.
didn't kill
Then yes.
150 people.
No,
dude.
but
No, but like the Vegas thing.
Right.
but
But that's
but-
different. Like again,
That's the same tool.
No, but what's the difference if it's 100 or one person? If
No,
I
okay,
told you one, they killed Judy, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
nobody else died, just your sister. Are you gonna fucking be like, oh well, at least there was only one person? Fuck no. You're gonna be like, fuck, that was my sister. That's my blood. It doesn't
and it
fucking
doesn't
matter.
matter how she
many
died.
people get killed
No,
by a weapon?
I think
It's not like, oh, well, at least it wasn't with the gun.
Yeah. No.
no, but I think the whole point is that with a knife, with your own fist, with a baseball bat, I think the point is the level of damage that you could do in the least amount of time. You get a semi or a fully automatic, and you just start shooting in about less than 10 seconds.
Sure,
you do
sure,
a lot
sure.
more damage than you going to a knife one by one or a baseball bat or your own
There's
fist.
been
or,
zero crimes committed with the legal. Fully
I'm just
automatic.
saying.
No, I'm not just
I think that's
correcting you a
the
little
whole
bit.
point about why a lot of people are against the guns. It's the level of damage you can do with the least amount of
To
time.
me, it's
And
like
How
you
about
can't-
fertilizer? Do we ban fertilizer?
Yes.
But that takes a while to kill anybody.
No, that's a pipe bomb.
to make
Fuck
bombs.
no, it
yeah.
doesn't.
Well, if you rig it to explode, yeah.
What happened?
I thought
What
you
was
mean
it in
like-
Chicago? Right with the runners.
Boston.
Oh, that was Boston. Yeah.
What-
You ban pressure cookers?
Yeah, what were they using? I guarantee they didn't. I don't think they had real. They made them, right? So what do? You banned everything they used. It just again.
I think it's just
Where
this
does
is
it
the
stop?
reality
Yeah.
of where we're
Well,
at
that's
in the
why
world.
if you purchase the Anarchist cookbook, automatically you get an FBI list.
Oh, I believe it.
I'd be surprised if I wasn't on it.
Yeah, exactly. So David Flores, you're leaving now, correct?
David.
No, but it just I'm not for guns, but I'm not against guns.
I am for guns, in case you can't tell.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, it's just
I've
this
known.
is. It's like trying to nerf the world to make everybody safe. It's not gonna work. Like that's just how I feel. So that's why I would rather educate people on the subject. You can choose whatever you want to do. Like Salo,
Yeah.
he's aware of it, but he doesn't care to own. But he
Mhm.
just knows it's a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
yeah, of
And I'm
course,
totally okay with that.
Yeah, like that's fine. It's just like the idea of taking it away feels like nerfing the world. And I know you're just playing devil's advocate. I get that, but when you take the option away from everybody, now then what happens to society? Where it's like, if nobody knows anything, you are lacking in a knowledge base.
Let me just give this other angle and stuff, okay? Because the guy had a semi-automatic for this Gilroy thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he would have had a fucking fully automatic.
Okay.
Oh, he would have done way more damage, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you think,
There's no argument.
because you guys were saying, okay, doesn't matter how this person died, right? But what about the lives that saved by him not having a fully bigger weapon? A bigger weapon. What if he did? Hey, what if he would have had a grenade launcher? What if he would have had a?
Absolutely. What if he would have walked? He would have drove in there with the fucking tank.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, that tank doesn't move without somebody moving it.
So is the guy.
No,
It's
but
always on the person.
also the axis of the tools. Like, hey,
Sure. Okay. Again,
he
yes.
couldn't get something bigger because it just wasn't allowed.
Okay,
You gotta
but
look
he
at-
still has to fucking move it. A person still has to move it. Now, if AI became a thing, and we're talking about fucking shit like that, then it'd be like, damn, yes, okay. But it wasn't an AI. It was a fucking person who did it. You can't.
No, I get it, but I'm talking about the amount of damage.
Legislate that. How do you stop? Like again, how do you stop that?
Can you buy a tank?
I should be
Actually, yeah, you can.
I think you can.
I think you can, dude. I really think you can.
Could you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's expensive as shit, but I think you can.
Okay,
I really think you can.
okay, you
No,
can't
let
get
me
it.
hold up.
Maybe
About
I think
this
in
guy.
Texas. I think in Texas you can.
I'm pretty sure this
Oh,
guy
tank.
was already throwing
Probably has a
ref.
special permit.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure, going back to, yes, it was not the gun that killed the people. It was the guy that was using. Okay, I'm pretty sure this guy, like in every single case, this guy was already throwing red flags out
Sure,
there in
absolutely.
school. And nobody
Yeah,
paid
nobody pays-
attention.
and that's the
because
problem.
It's the problem, like, nah, he
Thank you,
wouldn't
brother.
do that.
That's the problem that I have with it is that he already in social media apparently was showing red flags.
Exactly.
And so again, here's my shit with this. He was like you said, Lalo. I guarantee you, he was already showing bad shit, right?
Okay.
And nobody stopped this person from being like, should we like maybe check up on this guy? And when we see that he went to purchase a gun, maybe said no, he can't do it, right? And then this would have been, you know, this would have been. It would have never happened, right?
Right.
But again, and some people be like, well, with the millions of people in this fucking country, how were they supposed to know? Whatever the fucking excuse is. But at the end of the day is, yes, he was already showing signs of, I guarantee you, of signs of bad shit. But if nobody's there to monitor him or nobody took consideration what he was doing, you still cannot. I can't. I cannot sit here and think that you can blame a gun, because if the kid is already showing stuff that he shouldn't be, and it looks like he's already going down a bad path, that's just bad by the parents. That's bad by whoever the fuck is supposed to be watching the social media, the NSA, right? It just.
I think it's like we're getting mad at the reality of the
Yeah.
tools that are available to us versus the reflection of what society's doing.
Exactly.
And why do I have to suffer because of what someone else
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
To me,
exactly.
did? Maybe
It
if
really-
I commit a crime, okay, maybe take my rights away, but I haven't done shit.
Right,
Exactly.
and usually you're right. If you do commit a crime and you go like you get a felony, they take a lot of your rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They but and
it
let's be
also
honest,
goes-
rightfully so, because
No,
you
but you know what?
punishment
Even
of the
but
person
hold
who
up,
did that.
even that is state by state.
sure, yes, but we're talking about California because we live in California. Okay, I don't give a shit what they do in Texas because I don't live in Texas. We're talking about here in California. You fuck up here as a felon, depending on the situation in which but you get a felony, you lose a lot of your rights. And again, I
as soon
think
as you
right.
get out, you should get them back. I think. Yeah.
I don't know, man, because if you have proven that you're not stable
Well,
enough to
But
you serve your time.
Trusted with a gun, you should be in jail.
right.
And if you're not in jail, you should be able to trust with all your rights.
Well, it depends why
Whoa.
you went to jail.
Whoa.
'cause
So hold on. Another Pandora's box. Hold on. So
Whoa,
you
whoa,
think
whoa.
somebody? I'm just throwing this out there.
New
somebody who was involved in gangs and previously shot up people and gets out, he should be able to buy a gun again.
If not, he should still be in jail.
No, he already did his time.
If we can't trust him,
Right.
then he needs to be.
But he did his time,
Okay, then he's good.
so he should be able to buy a gun
Absolutely.
Well, okay, hold on.
Solid thoughts?
No, hold on. That's fine. But when next time you go to the,
I never see Salo go. Whoa, hey, whoa. He's on his microphone turning now. Whoa, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, listen.
And you're in the hood, or I don't know where the fuck you live. But that's the.
Do you think someone that's shot people before gives a fuck about buying a gun legally?
No, of course not.
Okay, well, then that motherfucker's still packing heat.
Right. Okay,
So
but we're not
does it
talking
matter-
about illegally.
does
We're
it
talking
matter if
about
he buys it
no.
legally?
We're not
Someone who
talking
did their
about
time
that. We're
per society standards.
No. Dude, what are you laughing about? Let me explain myself. What the fuck? What you're talking about is illegal shit. We're talking about legally.
At that point, what difference does it make?
Well, that's what we're talking about. Legal shit, not illegal shit. We're talking about legal shit.
Touche. Hey, you know
We're
what? Hey,
keeping-
can't
we're
come.
keeping it to-
You
we're
can't
gonna
walk
talk about
into a
illegal
gun
shit?
store.
If we're gonna talk about illegal shit, I can get a lot of shit illegally at any given fucking time, right? But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about. That's why we were talking about amendments and shit. The legal shit.
If I
The
can't
fuck are
trust
we talking
someone
about
with
illegal
a gun-
shit for? Why are you bringing up illegal shit? We're talking about legal shit, nigga. Shit that you can buy when you're fucking not in jail. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying. Illegal shit, it doesn't fucking matter. Right? You shouldn't even have brought that up because that doesn't matter. Because if you're a felon or not a felon, you can get it. But if you're a
The point
felon,
is,
we're talking
it's
about
not-
the rights, legally buying stuff.
If we can't trust you in society, you shouldn't be in society.
Well, then in that case, everybody should fucking everybody
Well-
gets locked up for like a felon should get shot, right?
Okay.
I hope you never.
Oh,
get
hold
caught
up,
for
hold
felon.
up,
They'll shoot your ass.
hold up.
I'll fucking be like, hey, I'll be like, give me the gun. Give me the gun. I'll shoot this motherfucker
Hold on.
right
I bet
now.
David's gonna fucking salute you.
Remember,
It's like a Tarantino movie. It's like a Tarantino movie when he's standing over your fucking body. Just, I gotta do this. You guys don't understand what
No,
you're
I'm gonna
letting
be
out.
like, David, you remember that conversation we had?
So let me play that. Okay.
I'm just saying, it depends. It depends on what you do. But I think
give me an example. So,
I don't think they should.
do you,
Legally they shouldn't. Illegally, whatever. You do what the fuck you want, man.
Agree to disagree.
Oh, dude, you're saying somebody with aggravated assault could come out of prison and legally buy a gun.
If they did their time, they go in front of a board.
But that's relative, dude. I mean, let's just say that this guy fucking knows your law. David, you're the king of the land right now and stuff, right? He gets in front of a very lenient judge and fucking he beats the shit out of your wife and kids. I mean, he almost kills them. He, you know what? It's your first felony. We're gonna give you 5 years. You fucking think this guy should come out and be able to legally buy a gun?
Yeah.
Shit, man, you are all the way in.
Somehow he fucking dies somewhere. Don't look at me.
Yo, she should have put her hands up.
Again, David, you're talking about illegal shit now. Because you're not going to legally kill that motherfucker, right?
I underestimated
Hold
you.
on,
I underestimated you, sir. You are all the way the fuck in, dude.
I was following for a minute.
Dude, fuck.
Sure, and
You are next level, sir.
You are all the way. You're right. You're fucking right. Yeah,
Sala
he's
came
right.
in with what was it? Whoa.
Because the reality
You're all
is,
the way in or you're not, dude. That's it.
yeah,
Fuck, dude.
and I'm not all the way. You fucking know right now. I'm on the fence about a lot of shit.
When I asked you, like, dude, if it affected your family, you're like, yeah, it's cool, yeah, whatever, yeah.
But you weren't
And like-
asking me.
But you weren't asking
That
about the
shit-
felon.
Yeah,
That
you weren't
shit-
asking
that
about
shit-
if he should buy another gun, right? You just, I don't feel any different about
That
it.
shit changed real quick. Whoa.
No. Yeah, obviously, you're
No.
you're not getting it. You asked me, how do I feel about guns?
No, but
I don't
legally, an ex-felon coming out and getting another legal gun.
No, you didn't
Legal.
ask me that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you guys
That's
different.
different.
Yeah.
Yes, of course not.
Yeah.
That's different.
I'm gonna
Like
bring
I
this-
said, you ain't all the way in. This motherfucker's all the way.
He's a little too in. There ain't no
program, but I'm
Hey,
gonna
let me
say
tell
I'm
you
not
something
okay with
about
that.
David. There ain't no pull-out game with David. He ain't got no pull-out game.
Hey,
I'm in there. I'm in there.
although I may not agree, I respect it. Here's a beer, sir. Don't shoot me.
This motherfucker, when you say all the, give him another one. Double fist this shit, dog, so that he's
Let
happy with
me
us.
see. Let me tell.
I'm glad I'm on your side.
Okay, so this is where
I'm just
this is
saying.
where I have an issue with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I have an issue. So you're saying you're only if this guy served his time, he should come back out again, be able to get a gun because he's in prison because of guns.
Because he did his time.
because he did.
If he did his
Let,
time,
let me tell you something.
either
So,
that or you don't let the motherfucker out. If you can't
I mean,
let
I
the
get.
motherfucker
But
out-
I
I'm
mean-
starting to try to see what he's going by, and I think because if you did your time, that's saying that you've rehabilitated yourself, right? Okay.
society.
I get that.
if
part.
you get, if
But
you did,
I would
Okay,
still
okay,
keep
but
fucking up.
on that topic, right? Let's just say something. God forbid this guy fucking comes into your house, right? He gets away from your shots, but he's able to do damage to your family. And this guy, it's his first felony. I'm gonna be lenient, and he gets 5 years. You think that's enough time?
absolutely not.
No. He wouldn't get 5
Hey,
years.
but
though.
he did his time.
Realistically, he wouldn't get 5 years.
No,
Yeah.
if you didn't,
No, but
He-
some
he'd get
some
25 to
stupid
life.
some stupid
With
shit.
parole
The police.
option.
Hold on. Let's just go off of the police got evidence stupidly, and the judge was like,
Sure,
bro,
there is
you know, like
cases-
some sort of
Right.
legal leeway, and this guy did fucking
found a loophole.
5 years
He
for
found a
damaging
loophole.
your family. Right? He did his time,
yeah,
and you still think he should come out and buy a gun?
I don't think he'd make it that far.
but you know there are cases that they do.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm not saying that there's not fucked up situations like that. But if they do their time, why can't I? If I fuck up, let's say I got caught with weed fucking years ago when it was a felony.
That I get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
No, but we were talking. No, we were talking. No.
No, you didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah,
It
but we
doesn't
were
matter.
talking. No,
Hold on.
talking about the
Drug
level-
charges.
we're talking about
Hold on.
severity
A
of crimes.
drug.
We're talking about levels of
No.
felony.
A drug charge is different from an aggravated assault charge, dude.
Yeah, we were. I made that clear. I said it depends on the felony
Yeah.
that you
The
get.
nature of the thing.
Yeah, like if you're getting caught up with 10 pounds of weed, like no, I don't think you should revoke your gun license. No, you
That's
just.
how it is right now.
Yes,
That's
you're
what
right.
I'm
You're right.
thinking.
Yeah.
Right. But if you get caught
If you
fucking beating the shit out of somebody,
violent crime.
Oh yeah, violent crime. I think that, and that's what I said earlier. It depends on the
Nature of the crime.
on the nature of the crime, because if they catch you with again 5 pounds of weed, they shouldn't. I agree. They shouldn't take your rights of buying a gun, because you weren't doing. You were trying to. You were just selling weed, right?
Self-medicated.
Right,
Whatever,
exactly.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
But
Yeah, that's a different
if
crime.
they catch you with a gun and you were shooting people randomly, yes, I do think you shouldn't have a license after that.
I shouldn't be out. If I'm
Well,
doing
yeah,
shit like
that
I
too,
shouldn't be out.
obviously.
That-
But even
but
if you
that
do,
goes back to
even
my
if,
point.
but even if you do 15, 20 years, I don't think when you get out,
You should be allowed to buy it.
yeah,
If
I don't
it's
think so.
the nature of the crime.
Because again, you're just.
But I'm rehabilitated.
We don't know.
I'm a different.
There's good
Well.
actors out there.
You just went through 15 years of prison life.
Yeah, how many-
The rules are a little warm.
Hold on. No, and besides that, you
Holy
did 15 years
fuck,
in
are they
prison.
warm. And you want to give him a violent
Hold on, dude.
Hey, well.
Hey, Juan, you did 15 years in prison. You ain't coming out no fucking.
Yeah.
Does that become
I
a,
shouldn't be out.
but then does that become a
Then I shouldn't
state-to-state
be out.
thing? Like the state decides.
That is really saying, hey, dude, you did your time in prison. You are rehabilitated. And that's a fantasy world, dude, because you're going to
If I'm
come out.
rehabilitated, then why can't I have my rights?
You're not rehabilitated. That's the point.
Well, then I shouldn't be out.
Yeah, but you did your time. Like there's no fucking court that's go, hey, there's no realistic court that goes, hey, you know what? You are going to be rehabilitated in 14 and 3/4
Well,
years.
That's what parole's for. They look at your record. They look at what you've been doing.
But you're out, right?
Okay,
No,
so
before you get out.
so do you agree that once you get out of prison, you should be able to vote again?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That I don't mind.
That's good.
That I don't
that's
mind.
good to know.
Yeah, that I don't mind.
You know there's several.
Yeah, you went from a radical point to like a fucking
No, but
minister.
since we're talking about people,
This fucking talking about coming out killing people.
They don't have
Motherfucker,
a
what
right.
you talking
They
about?
take that away.
They
from
take
you.
that away.
in some states, Florida is one of them.
Yeah.
There's several states that if you ever went to prison,
Yeah.
You get a
It's
felony.
gone.
even
You
if
get
you
a
get
felony.
out, you still cannot
Yeah.
vote.
Fucked. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That right there, I think is stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you should
You're
be.
right.
I just put that in there because we're talking about people getting out of prison. I just wanted to put that out
Sure,
there.
sure.
Back to guns.
Okay, hold on. Let's say a
Back to murdering motherfuckers.
let's say a child molester went into fucking did his time. Let's say he did 20, 25 years and
I
he's
think they
still
should be castrated.
young enough. He's still young enough to be he should be able to be around kids.
I don't know if that's a right.
You got a right to be around people.
You have the right to have sex.
Well, it almost is, because.
Why not?
people-
Hold on. What
aren't people
in the
like, don't
Constitution
people-
says? What in the Constitution says you can't be around kids?
Nothing.
So then they have the right to be around kids then.
They're people.
I don't
They're
know.
out in society.
No, and then there is people who get that taken away, where like you can't be within like 500 yards of a school, right? So that's their right. You get taken that
You
right
know what's
away
so
from
funny?
you.
Not to say the subject.
So and no, damn it, Juan, you son of a bitch. That's true though, because you think about it.
Motherfucker.
You got children. I have nephews, nieces that I love dearly.
Yeah.
And I don't want these.
It's their right.
Yeah.
They got a right to be around society.
And that's where we went with the whole depending on the severity of the crime of what you did. Like if the motherfucker was selling weed, I don't really get. And they say no, you can't be around children. Well,
Yeah.
As long as you don't touch them, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if the motherfucker was touching children and was shooting people, no, I don't want that motherfucker around my kids.
Just be alive.
Well, shit, that's a personal opinion, right? But hear me.
I love these solid reactions. You're not getting these reactions.
Well, because what I mean by that is because, like you said, if he's rehabilitated,
Dude, you
right?
should-
Yeah. If the motherfucker did something to do with guns and got a felon with weapons, yeah, I think that he shouldn't be allowed to get a gun again. Because you gave up that right when you decided to fucking fuck up.
But I did my time.
But that doing your time doesn't mean you get your rights back.
Yeah, you should.
No, that's not.
In a perfect world
There's
that
no
like
powers
that
to prison.
in a perfect world that
If you wanna be in a
that
perfect
says
world, then
you know what, you went to
they
prison
never
and
find-
you did learn something. Unfortunately, the reality of the world is that you're gonna go to prison
And turn
and
into
probably learn
more
how to
of
be a
criminal,
better criminal.
better
But
criminal.
I think that's why that's why you know that. Listen, if I fuck up, this is the consequences that's gonna happen. So don't fuck up, because if you don't want to lose these rights and these abilities to do these things,
Don't fuck
don't
up.
fuck up. But once you fuck up, then it's like, well, you shouldn't have fucked up, because you know that if you fuck up, this is gonna happen, right?
And that's a big, and those
It's a
are big
consequence.
fuck ups.
And a
We're
lot
not
of
talking
people
about
don't
like.
get that is that this is a consequence of your fuck up. It's not like we're just taking it away from you because you know what, today, Chris, you can't have it. Lala, you can't have it today. No. If they take it away from Chris or you or me because we went to jail for it, that was a consequence of you fucking up, of not being a quote unquote good citizen, right? So that's where we come in with no, he doesn't deserve it,
Dude,
because it says there, you fuck up, you're gonna lose
So
it.
you're saying certain rights get taken away when you keep fucking up in society?
Or when you fuck up once in society, you don't have to keep
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
up.
Again, it goes back to the level of the fuck up.
When you're fucking 12, 13.
No, that doesn't count because you're a
When
child.
does it start counting?
When you're 18,
18?
when you're an adult.
I agree.
No, that don't ask.
I
that.
agree.
How dare you ask in law? You know, come on now, you know that. Don't give
I
me that
agree.
crap.
I don't like when a 16-year-old is being charged as an adult.
Yeah, you
like,
can't.
No,
There's-
if the
Unless they
person-
kill somebody.
Well,
'Cause you made a
because
fatal mistake.
As a kid, you should know thou shalt not kill. It doesn't matter. Oh, you're 12 years old.
I agree.
If
You know,
you're
I
under
agree.
a certain age,
If it's
you
a certain,
can kill. No,
depending on the
because you're too
fucking
young. No.
crime, but
Killing is
Well,
something
if the
that
child, if the 16-year-old is acknowledging and accepting and saying, yeah, I know what the fuck
So
I
they're
did.
rehabilitated.
No.
Can you rehabilitate someone that did that at that age?
Like I said, if that child is saying,
hold on.
I totally.
Do you
know what
believe?
I'm
Hold on. Let me go back to this. Do you believe child molesters are rehabilitated?
Absolutely not. I don't-
Then what the fuck you were just talking about? But
they did their time.
Hold on. But they did their time.
If they're rehabilitated and they did their time, then yes.
But how do you prove that they?
How do you do that though?
You can't. That's the fucking.
You gotta give it time.
Exactly. So we can't see
Because right now
you can't know when somebody who did
because
a
right now
crime with the weapon
earlier
has
you said child molester comes out, he should be dead, right? And I just said right.
And you know what? And
Yeah.
you know what? You're right. He's probably not even gonna make it to prison.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn
fucking hope
almost
so.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
You're right.
Nah, you know.
But the off chance. that
But
it does
I just told you,
skim through the
what if somebody
motherfuckers?
kills a child and say they're a 16-year-old, 17-year-old,
Kills a child
right?
at 16?
Kills a 3-year-old, kills a 4-year-old, kills a 5-year-old, right? Knows what he's
Whatever
doing,
it
he's
is,
just
10 years,
raging,
rehabilitated.
whatever. He kills. You think that guy's rehabilitated if he does 25 years in prison?
How do you answer that? I don't know.
That's my point. You can't have. It's not like judges have this magical power. You know what? I think 17 and 3/4
Yeah,
years will really rehabilitate you.
Yeah.
But
You know?
what if they do?
True.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you're living
let's
now,
say,
you're living
let's
on the
say,
maybe.
let's say,
What ifs? If we're gonna go
hold
off
on.
what if,
You gave
well, what if Donald Trump is a good
you gave
guy?
child molesters 0. No.
but that's
Hey,
no, but that's
hey,
why we were
let me
saying
tell you
that
what you just did,
on
David.
this
You took
certain-
that child molester's all his rights away.
Yeah, you did.
You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him.
No, I'd kill a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's how many rights does he have when he's
For
dead?
sure. And I hope I got my rights back when I get out.
Honestly,
you know what, though?
hey, you know what though?
Full circle.
No, David. Honestly, I think
Oh, really?
depending, I think in what state you live in, if you kill a child molester while
You're rehabilitated.
No. I could be wrong, but in some states, if you catch a child molester in the act and you happen to kill him, they don't even
free
charge
pass.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
I'd be
even.
pissed if you don't.
No, well, but in California they still charge you as murder,
Yeah.
right? But in some
It's
states,
coming right for me.
no, hear me. But I think even in California, even the judge may be like, you know what? We'll give you the minimum, which may be like 10 years. Fuck it. And in prison, they'll look at you as a god, probably. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
but in
my
some
book
states,
to be sad.
yeah, oh yeah, you'll never be hungry. You'll have a pretty little young boy washing your balls every day. But in some states, I heard that they actually, if like they catch you, catch the dude, you beat him to death, per se. That the cops will come in and be like, what happened? You'd be like, well, I caught this dude raping this boy or girl, whatever it may be, God forbid, good God. But if you catch that, they'll be like, okay, well, we just need to take a statement and you're good to go. Like, and I think, and in that sense, I can't sit here and be like, yeah, no, they didn't do it. I think yes, because damn it, for the most part, I think if you're an adult, you know what the fuck you're doing, right? So, yeah, but in California, they catch you, they will give you, you know,
25 to L.
probably, most likely. They'll probably even do less than that, but with a very high chance of parole for sure, because you know that it's very frowned upon, even in prison. But you know, it all depending on the crime you do, is what you know your rights then get taken away from. Sometimes it's a little severe, like you said, like if you get caught with hella pounds of weed and then they take your gun rights, like, well, fuck, dude, really? Are you fucking serious?
It's not just your gun rights; they take all your rights.
Right. But that was what we were going down to at the end. But yeah, I mean, it depends. I think it depends on what you do. You know,
Because I think ultimately, if somebody wanted to shoot up a school and there's no guns in the land, like I said, salvatruchas, they make fucking shotguns out of pipes.
I mean, potato guns. You can make a potato gun and it's lethal. It really is.
So
do it from a close enough distance. It's lethal.
And this is what I've always said. I've never been against guns. I'm against how easily some of these nut jobs are able to get guns.
Right.
I like, and this is before you showed up. I couldn't grab a knife at a knife show because the lady thought I was not 18.
But
When,
I mean,
but it goes back to that.
One person, one event to categorize the whole thing.
No, I'm aware of that, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has come across that. Like you got people that are legally able to get it, and they don't
Do
get
you
it.
feel like it's too easy?
But again, though, here it is, though.
Is
In
that-
retrospect, wait, hold on.
It's so easy for some people, and somehow they make it so difficult for other people who probably have.
It should be easier for those people.
Right.
That's what I believe.
But how do you tell? Like him, that kid, right? The kid from Gilbert.
How do you make it
You-
harder?
How do you
need to have
know?
a-
How does the guy at the
That's why
shop,
you
wherever the
have
fuck
to.
he's selling? No, that motherfucker that's selling the gun at the shop doesn't know this kid for shit, right? I guarantee you that kid didn't come in there foaming at the mouth talking about rah, rah. No, he looked like a normal person. He had an ID. It said 19. How is the shop owner supposed to be like, you look mentally unstable?
Okay,
Well, these
hold up.
mental checks are all relative.
Why I always say a universal background. If this guy has some mental issue and
California, you have universal background checks.
Yep.
yeah, but I'm talking
And
about like
people
if you
feel
have
to
if
make
you had
sense.
So you're saying it should be everywhere else?
if you had some mental issue in the state of New York, I'm pretty sure that mental issue is gonna carry you anywhere.
But talking about that, did this kid ever show any mental issues?
I don't know. I mean,
Exactly. So
You know,
well, we don't know yet.
I will say this, right? I went to jail one time, right? And it was on a felonious charge that actually got reduced and stuff, right? But once they took my fucking fingerprint, I was like, damn.
yeah, you're
I
done.
can't kill anybody
No.
now. Because they got my fucking fingerprint.
oh yeah, on a wedding regulars they got you.
Yeah,
You
but-
sell gloves, right?
What?
They sell gloves.
And sometimes you date. Sometimes they don't fit.
No, but
Depending where you may want, they may not fit.
And if they don't,
But a lot of these guys, you know what? A lot of these guys. My point being, a lot of these guys will. They have a clear legal mental background check until they don't, because they go, you know what? I'm waiting on the big one.
Sure,
So
sure,
how
sure,
do you-
sure, sure.
But how do you protect against that?
And how do you?
What do you do?
You shoot them all, David.
You take them out back, and you just
Kill them all, machine.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
No, but this is what you want to do: a background check, make sure that he or she didn't have a mental issue in any state.
Again, but how that kid, right? I guarantee you showed nothing up until this point.
But the thing is, you're not gonna narrow it down to the one person. This
Right,
is my
no,
first
but we're
time.
talking
You can't.
about this
So what about
person.
the
Because
many
that's
people?
that's where it came from, right? This is where
The CDC under Obama in 2013 put out a study that says that guns are used defensively anywhere from 600,000 times a year to fucking 2.5 maybe. Defensively. Offensively, they're maybe used 500,000 or 600,000 times.
So
Do
you
you strip the right of all those people?
I'm not talking about taking the right. So you're telling me that those few that slip between the cracks, well, fuck it, that's life. Is that what you're telling me? Well, that's life. You get those bad apples, they're gonna do whatever. they
no,
want.
but in a sense, yes, almost, dude. Like,
Hey, hold on. But
Let's-
going back to the
you know what?
argument.
it's sad to say,
prefer-
but almost.
I prefer-
yes.
Hey.
I mean,
Hold on, David. Didn't you throw a stat? You said 0% crime were bought with guns that were bought legally.
no, I think he said automatic weapon.
Automatic. But in the Florida shootings and this Gilroy shooting, they were bought legally.
Yeah, but those are semi.
Whatever, they were
It's
bought
a
legally.
weapon. It's a weapon.
Well, but if you get if you get a Glock and you shoot it, it's not, you know what I mean, that's a semi too, right? Am I correct?
Should it be a thing
So,
where it's like
I
just
mean-
like a license to drive? Should people have a license to?
But again, how do you
kill?
but how do you
Not
how do you
to
know
kill.
when a motherfucker's gonna go
No,
crazy in
not-
traffic and say, I'm fucking done?
That's my point.
Right?
With
I mean-
my fingerprint thing, it was like, you know what? I am going to be legal until I'm not. And these fools that do these mass shootings, they're at the checkout point. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They're going, you know what? It's gonna be the end of my life. What do I give a
They're-
fuck?
But
how
I
do you
just gotta
know-
stay
how do
clean.
you know
I
that
just
these
gotta
people
stay
are like
clean
that?
until then.
But how do you know that? How do you determine that person is that until it happens?
It's not necessarily that you're getting.
my guns away
That's
from
not
my
necessarily punishing you.
Well,
It's
yeah, it
just
is.
it's just necessarily like, you know what? You shouldn't be mad at the gunless judge. You should be mad at that guy. You know for sure.
Exactly.
'Cause He
That's
fucked it
that's
up.
the whole
He
point
fucked
of it.
he fucked it up for you.
I haven't shot anyone.
But he fucked it
No,
up for
he's
you.
saying that
How
people,
can
yeah. No,
Huh?
he's saying that you should.
You're actually looking
Because
for
it could.
for on paper. You're looking for an on paper on paper reason to be mad at this guy, but you know what? He fucked it up for you. You know what I mean? He did fuck it up.
Because
for you.
now what his actions did was
Yeah.
now again the country now again
So
has
then-
to hold on. The country now again has to again take this whole law of guns into consideration when they shouldn't have to because of one person's mistake.
Well,
That's
it's
what they're saying.
It's either I have a right or I don't.
Right.
It's pretty much black and white. Either I have that right.
Yeah, I mean,
or
ultimately,
don't.
that's what it's going to come down to. Absolutely. Like, everybody can talk and debate and say whatnot, but the end line is it's going to be, can I own one or can I not own one? And that's what you're looking for, correct? So I think at the end of the day, there might be more restrictions.
Good luck.
There might be more laws on it, but I don't think they're actually going to take away guns. They're just going to
No,
be like,
it's not
it's
happening. And I don't
it's
want
just
it.
going to make it
Well, that's where it starts.
this.
It starts with
All
me
it's
not
going to do,
wanting-
it's going to make it this much harder to get a gun. Not this much, just this much. As long the whole point is you show the people who want it to be banned or don't want guns, you just show them a sliver of light at the end of the tunnel. Say, listen, we can't get what you want, everything, but we're moving there. Look, with this much.
What if it's like a comprehension test, just like driving? Like anybody can drive.
Yeah, but
You have to have a license to be able to drive. Doesn't mean you own a car or don't own a car.
But you're crazy as shit, right?
I'm very crazy.
But when it comes to guns, you're very comprehensive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how the fuck do we know that you ain't gonna go shooting somebody right now when you get off of this?
But I'm saying, like,
Right,
what
it's
if there's
just-
a comprehension test that shows you
I
have
think everybody should be taking like a really deep psychological test.
What if
Exactly.
If you want the gun, you pay for the test.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and what about people that aren't as fortunate as me,
Fortunate in what sense?
money wise? What if they're only
Well, then they don't get a
getting-
gun.
If you really want that gun, hey, I really wanted that Mustang for $30,000.
Hey, you know, yeah, it's like, you have the right to own a home. You have the right to own a home, but you may not be able to afford it.
What amendment is that?
It's not an amendment, but
That's what I'm saying.
But hold on. Where in the amendment does it have anything about pricing? Let's just say hypothetically, right? Let's just say hypothetically, right? Right? I go, it's your right to have a gun. The gun is $100,000. Hold on. The gun is $100,000, and every bullet is $5,000 a piece.
If I can't afford to exercise my right, that's not a right.
That's all relative. They're like, why not? Because hey, listen. We live in a capitalistic country, right? I'm trying to make profit. But no, hold on. I'm trying to make.
I'll go to Chris. That'll sell it to me for fucking $600.
It's true, but what if I regulate it to?
Yeah, but Chris ain't selling them legally.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
But the country isn't. They're gonna take your guns.
Yeah, they're gonna take it.
With more right, they're gonna take your guns.
But it's like, look. You have the right.
house.
You have the right to have popcorn at the theater, right?
That's
And
not right.
whatever, like you have. But dude, it cost me what, 10 cents to make this popcorn, but I'm charging $14 with the soda and stuff, right? Let's just say guns cost $100,000 each, and every round was $5,000. It's your right to have it if you could afford it. It's your right to have a home.
that's not right.
It's your right to home.
It's not
your
right.
It's your right to have a home.
We have the right to
having
pro-
it.
No, it is because right now,
we-
are you not paying for weapons now?
We have the right to property.
Okay, so there's
Hold on,
no
you're
pricing.
treating
All we're
it-
saying is we're not saying you can't have a gun. We're just saying
Can you afford it?
how much-
Hey,
do you-
I can
do you
have a Ferrari if
you
I
have
can
a-
afford
do you
it.
have a Glock?
Right?
just
I don't have a Glock, no.
whatever gun you paid for. How much did you pay for it? The one that you just think of. Okay.
Hey, it's
all
my-
they're saying is okay. You want that same gun? It costed you yesterday.
We're in a capitalistic
Today,
country. I need to make a profit.
$1,200. That's all they're saying. You can still have it.
Hey, I have a right. Hey, I have a right.
That's
No, that's the country saying that. Everybody
Hey,
who's selling weapons-
I have a right to.
because I can buy a shotgun from fucking $10 worth of shit.
I have a right to own a
But it's
Lamborghini.
illegal.
Because
We're talking
whatever,
about,
but I can't afford
no, David, but you're getting it twisted. We're talking about legal stuff. We're not talking about illegal, because if we're going to talk about illegal, then shit, I can get your rocket launcher tomorrow, right? But that's not what we're talking about.
Hey,
We're
I
talking
need
about
one.
legal shit. And what he's saying is that when the country says, fine, we're not going to take your guns, but we're going to make it expensive for you to get a gun, right?
Well, who's gonna make it expensive?
The country.
The
capital.
government. The
Yes,
government.
yes. the
See, here's
government.
the thing.
And then it tells every gun seller in the United States, listen, you want to sell a Glock? It used to be 6. Now you have to sell it at 15. Across the board. I don't give a fuck who. You can deal it however you want, but it has to be 1,500, and every bullet's gonna be 1,000. Now,
Well, good thing I have a reloading station, huh?
oh wow, whatever the fuck you want.
Well, the thing is though. Let's just say.
Let's say you were somebody who didn't have that.
Let's just.
And you're just
You said earlier in this conversation, you're like, what if I'm somebody that can't afford those means and stuff, right? You just said right now, if I say I'm charging you $100,000 for this, he's charging you 600, but Chris is charging you 600, but Chris is like, fuck that, you're charging 100,000, I'm charging 50,000. You know,
capitalism, my friend.
it's capitalism, and we live in a capitalistic country. But I go,
I'll find someone else. I mean, I don't.
Nobody can sell it cheaper, dude. That's the whole.
why would I want to make less when I can make more?
Legally.
You know what?
Now, if you want
Lalo's paying me.
go anywhere.
Hold on. I could go. I'm a gun maker.
No, but-
Lalo's paying me 30,000. You still can't afford that, bro.
We're
You know
talking
what?
about-
You can't
we're
afford
talking
this. You
about
can't afford
legal
that.
shit. We're not talking about illegal shit.
Yeah, it's all legal. Hey, you have a right
everything that
to
we've been
it.
talking about has to do with law and legal stuff. We're not talking about because if we're gonna talk about illegal shit, then everything we've talked about doesn't fucking matter. Does that make sense? So
We're
if
talking about
you're gonna
legal.
wanna buy
Under
a
law in
gun
the Constitution.
legally, which is what we've been talking about. Yes, you can do it, and this is what I think is probably gonna happen is just increase in price on stuff.
I do believe that could happen.
Because and that's the way they're gonna make the other people who don't want guns kind of shut up and be like, okay, no, we're not gonna take it away because we can't do that, but we're gonna make people who want to buy a gun go through more tests and make it more expensive. That's it.
Podcast
Now-
sponsored by Target Masters.
Right, and that's what I think is gonna happen. But they're never gonna actually be like, David, you can't have a gun. They're just gonna say, David, you bought a gun for $600 the other day, but you know what? Yesterday this law passed, so if you want another one tomorrow,
no, they wouldn't
it's
do
gonna
that. They can't do that. It'll be more like from this point on.
Right, but that's just all I'm saying. That was just an example. I'm just
Okay.
saying it's gonna. That's how they're gonna try to.
And that's what they're doing in California.
Yeah, they're gonna. I don't want to say shut people's mouths because that sounds fucked up. But that's what they're gonna do. Like people who don't want guns and are all about against guns, be like, okay, listen, no, we can't take the guns from these motherfuckers, and we can't stop selling them, but we are gonna make it more harder for them, as in
Because
expensive.
you know, okay, hold on. Let me go. Let me go with the hypothetical again. All right. So let's just say, and I totally said this hypothetical. Let's just say tonight they said, you know what, the U.S. is banning guns, and you said, dude, there's fucking let's just say you didn't have guns and stuff, right? But you said no, there's no way because we already have guns and all that shit, right? But when there's a black market, it gets a lot more expensive.
Right.
Cocaine is illegal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right. It's illegal, right? If you want to do it, you're gonna pay good money to do it. That's why cocaine is so. The value of it is so fucking crazy and stuff, right? But you go, hey, you know, salvatruchas or whatever, they could fucking make out of pipes and stuff, right? But do you think they're gonna charge $5 when they can charge $500 or $1,000? Yeah, for the fucking pipe.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it's all about money. It ultimately comes down about money, because if you're selling an item of whatever, you're gonna want to make money off of it, right? You're gonna want to make it for cheaper. Yeah, you're gonna want to make it for cheaper and sell it for more expensive. It is what it is.
And if fucking Chris is selling for $30K, guess what?
Chris is gonna put his asshole out there for a gun. It's all good.
You gotta be able to make it.
Thank God I have guns.
Hey, okay, listen. We like to do something around here that at the end.
Suck anyone's dick.
Oh wow.
No, you're gonna have to. You lost your right when you.
Hey, Lalo, hold on, Lalo, delete this whole
We're
file.
talking about rights and amendments. Your shit is coming.
You still think you lost some rights.
It's my right to have my dick sucked by somebody else. It's in the Constitution. You haven't read that one yet. I have it in my pocket, though. Don't worry. Okay, we just like to do a little wrap up of what have you learned?
Takeaways.
A takeaway. Yeah, that's all. If it's something you learned about this podcast, about society, about anything, like about a person, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Your takeaway, that thing that if you go home right now and
you took away from this podcast,
and your wife tells you, hey, so what happened?
I learned that Chris isn't as pro-gun as I am.
Oh no,
That is true.
no,
He's right, because I know
I'm pretty centrist.
fucking pussy.
Fucking little bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's how rights slip away at the same time.
Yeah.
You're the problem, Chris.
Bitch.
This is why people got right. This is why they keep trying to take your guns, because of people like you. Bitch.
Yeah,
Bitch.
Can I make up your mind?
Lalo.
You either in or you out.
I'm in.
Nah, you ain't in.
You gotta be all the way in.
Bro,
no pull
you
out
are on another level of in because you're trying to arm the felons right now.
You're in it. Even NRA is like,
no condom.
Just dude, the NRA is not pro-gun enough.
No.
Jesus Christ.
no, you're right. He's right.
Dude,
Hey, what do you think?
They're trying to work with people. You ain't trying to work.
They've
Yeah,
been
buddy.
behind a lot of the fucking anti-gun movements, dude.
Dude,
Sure, because it makes them look good.
They like to create.
That's called politics, bro.
Exactly. It is.
They like to create their own enemies
Oh, shit.
to make themselves look better.
Right, exactly. So they gotta play both sides of the ball.
They play their own devil's advocate. Anyways, my takeaway is me and David have had indirectly this kind of gun conversation on Facebook or whatever.
But does it take away from the friendship?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No,
Hey, that's the way. Hold on, that's the way society should be.
Yes.
You should be able to have discussions.
That's the beautiful part, dude.
David is not Joel. He doesn't.
Sure.
He doesn't take it up the.
Obviously.
But the fact is, after today's conversation,
I fucking hate you, man. I fucking hate you.
No, like I always say, I like to listen to the other anybody else's ideas.
You have to be able to have
to
somebody
understand their point of view. Because I'm not here, and I will not try to brainwash you and none of you guys' mind into believing anything that I do. No,
right.
But
I think it's called gaslighting, but okay.
But I do appreciate that the fact that you're here and you're saying your opinion, because now I understand it way better than indirectly tagging each other on Facebook comments, because that's just like hot potato.
Let's just say that's pussy shit.
Yeah, and the fact that we're face to face and we talk about it, I understand your point of view and I value it. I'm not gonna change your mind. Your point of view is not anything any worse or better than my point of view. The fact that we can sit down and understand each other's point of view, I respect it. I respect it. And I appreciate it, and it's fucking. I don't want to sound like Chris, but it's beautiful the fact that we're.
What the fuck? I don't want to sound like a girl,
But the fact that we're here to talk about this, it's great.
What kind of bullshit takeaway is this? You taking away my manliness? The fuck is going on here?
I play both sides.
For $20, huh?
Damn.
Not even.
Fuck, dude.
That's your boy.
That was
I was
brutal.
on both sides.
You know what, dude? My takeaway is I thought you were pro guns, but goddamn, dude,
You're pro
fucking-
death, nigga.
Dude.
You are
Bro,
beyond what I thought. Which I will say this. In today's society, I hope you can appreciate this. I respect that, dude. I fucking stand by your shit. It's all good. You know what I mean? I don't agree with everything you say,
Right.
but dude, you know what? This is what I think society needs more of. We need discussions. Even if we don't agree, let's have discussions. I hate when a person has a trigger word, quote unquote trigger word that I'm not gonna talk about this anymore because I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Trigger words are just, I'm not mature enough to listen to your
Thank you.
argument.
Philosophical
Exactly.
contemplator.
And we're grown ass people.
Yep.
You're right. We're grown ass people to be like, hey, you know what? Let's have a discussion.
Like I'm not gonna lose
because
sleep over you being pro gun.
because I think one of the things about
that's it.
one of the things about society that I think we're going backwards on is that we go sticks and stones may break my bones, words never hurt me.
That's
yeah,
definitely
that's
gone.
dead. That's
Dude,
dead.
that's from like the 80s.
Yeah,
I know
That's
that.
dead. That's
straight
dead.
out.
Also, when we would,
Not even that far,
as a kid,
2000s.
you'd have a disagreement, you have a fight. You know, hey, shake hands and get the fuck over with. That's dead too, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate that the fact
Nowadays,
that it's
can't nobody
but
take an
I
actual-
feel we keep that spirit alive with discussions like this because, like I said, I don't agree with everything you say, but you know what? We had the discussion, and I appreciate that. You are hardcore, my friend. You fucking.
100%.
Wow.
It's either you got the right or you don't. I mean,
I fucking.
black and white.
I see that, sir. God damn, dude.
I'll tell you what. I came in very late to this shit, but from what I'm taking away from this is that
He's talking about life.
besides that, dude, you know what, dude? This is what I've always loved about the humanity part of what everybody should have, because a lot of us have lost that part. Common sense and humanity is the fact that I can literally hear this man say, you know, your opinions and not be upset. And you can hear what I have to say.
That's
or
what I was
anyone else
saying.
on this table, and you don't get upset. It's just, hey, that's fine. See, at the end of the day, dude, this is what makes humanity beautiful, is the fact that
Different
you don't
outlook.
think like I do. He doesn't think like I do.
Right,
Nobody
right,
here
right.
thinks like everybody else, and it's okay. That's the beautiful part about it. And you know what? You turn around and be like, let's have another beer. Let's have another whatever. Because
That's the way it should be.
Yes.
These are just words. And I have this discussion all the time. It's like, let's stop giving power to just words. It's just words, man.
opinions.
You know, it's like it's
Because-
opinions of words. It's just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean that you're my enemy.
This is-
You know
this
what I
is-
mean? We're not gonna have the whole fucking same.
this
We're
is
not
why
gonna
I
have
always
all
tell
the same
people,
opinions.
I don't give nobody, when they tell me give me advice, I don't give anybody advice. I sit there and say, I always say, I'm gonna give
Really?
you my opinion. No, you know this, bitch, especially yo ass. I don't give advice. I give opinions. And the beautiful thing about opinions is that you could either take it and run with it, or you can go in one ear and go out the other, and it's not hurting anybody. That's the
It can be
beautiful.
wrong.
Exactly. That's what I mean by
It can be
it.
wrong.
My opinion could be totally wrong, because if you don't think that my opinion is right, I'm wrong. In your mind, I'm wrong. I may not be wrong. I may be wrong. Who knows? But in your mind, whatever you think it is, that's fine, because that's the beautiful thing about opinions. I'm not here to give anybody advice. I'm not here to say, do what I do and do what I say. No. All I'm saying is, this is what I think. This is how I feel. And let me feel this way. And I'm going to let you feel the way you want to feel and the way you want to think. That's the beautiful thing about humanity.
Absolutely.
Don't judge people on what they think and how they feel, man. You know what? You're not out there killing people. You're not out there hurting people.
Yeah.
To me, that you own a gun, that you own weapons, that doesn't make you a bad person,
See,
bro.
but I think the difference will be if we all somehow believe that you're capable of being that kind of person. I think we're like, we will say or do something about it. But we know that you're
Yeah.
not that kind of person.
Yeah,
That's what.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's.
I gotta change that.
Well, then let me change your mind.
His name is David. And, no.
Chris,
No,
Chris,
okay.
what the fuck did you take away this? You traitor.
I don't know. There really no takeaways other
You got
than
10 seconds.
10 seconds. My opinion will change if I get sponsored by Target Masters. That's my takeaway.